Yeah, slightly.
As in tinny.
Yep. That's exactly it. 1 second, people.
Let's try this again.
Good morning, beautiful people. It is Thursday, the 4th of July, 2024. Welcome to TDA, the day after your favorite news platform and the home of popular culture as defined by the culture. I hope everyone's good, man. Today's a big day, man. Election day. That's right. The day where the country decides its fate for the next 5 years. But are you excited?
Man, it said 5 years, you know.
Yes, this is what's going to happen. I hope people are really deep in this, man.
I thought it was 4.
Nope.
Why is it 5?
It's always been 5 years.
Serious?
Yeah, America's 4 years. I mean, they can bring a bit forward, so it can be like 4 years, but it's basically 5 years.
All right. What was the question you asked me?
Are you excited?
I am.
Good.
I am. In fact, I was actually going to have voting already.
Okay. You was going to, or you did?
Did I just say have voting?
Something like that.
Christ! I would have already voted. But Mummy asked if she could wait until it is that she comes by with Kimmy to vote in it. And I don't know yet if it's because they're trying to find out where I'm going or what. Because I'm not sure if you're aware, religion and voting go hand in hand with me, right? So the last time I spoke to her, she said a few things about, God's chosen people, right? So as in with regards to voting. So that, in my head, kind of told me what she was looking out for when it is this whole conversation and debate was happening, right? But I'm not sure if since then she's changed her mind. She might still vote the same party, but I'm not sure if she's changed her mind about the Christian connection to this, the church's connection to this, right? Because she will have one particular thought, and then there is reality or the truth. I'm not sure if it is she knows that, or she had already opened her mind to listening to what the truth could be, right? And I don't know if today or this evening I have something awaiting me. I don't know. But either which way, it would be nice to basically to chop it up and see. Okay. Has anyone else in the family let you know their positions? Well, I don't even know if that is going to go on vote. Okay. That has been completely removed from that specific political conversation. But it's been that for years, as long as I've known him. And I think he only used to vote when it was a family civic duty. You know what I'm saying? We all went there together. Okay. But I think he still holds the same type of view on Israel as Mummy does, because they're from that old school thinking. Yep. Right? So even if he were to vote, I think he would have just voted for Labour. But nobody else lives there.
What about Stephen? You said something.
So Stephen's more abreast with things. Obviously, because he listens to TDA, yeah, more informed.
That's right.
But I haven't asked him who he's voting for. But I will ask him later.
Okay.
I'll ask him later.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that means you've kind of made up your mind since you was thinking.
Yeah, I've made up my mind since.
Oh, from day.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Nobody asked me yesterday.
We're gonna ask you today though.
Steven's also watched the Terrence Howard thing. Because he watched the first one, innit? I mean, he's big on like string theory.
Okay.
Like he goes down rabbit holes, right? And that's how he even started entertaining the conversations that I was having about who the angels were and Book of Enoch and this and that, because he started going down that particular string theory route to realize, wait, there's more to reality in the world and what has been and what will come than just science.
Yeah.
So that's when he was deep diving. And the first time I remember talking to him about this particular thing, morning, this particular thing, he was like, funny thing, if you'd have just, you good? Say hello to the people, please. You're on camera.
Greetings, everybody.
No, they can't hear you.
Yo, what's up, everybody? Greetings.
All right, go.
Good morning.
Morning.
Have a good one,
All right, later. That was cheeky.
The legend.
Yeah. He'll be staying with us for a month, so you might see him on the
He cut his hair.
pod a few times. Yeah, time ago.
Okay.
Yeah, lost all his strength. What? Having said that, he actually won a boxing match
After.
after
Sick.
upside down world, right? When it is, I first mentioned it to him. He said, "Oh my goodness! If you had come to me like a couple of months before, I'd have just been like, hey, calm down. But now I've gone into this, my mind's been open about this annex, and I have been watching a few things, and talk to me, but go slowly. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, but now he's like, everything is making sense. Everything is making sense. Yeah. But like I said, he's watched it. So, election day, Maggie. You've already said who you're going to vote for. You changed your mind?
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
We will. Subsequent today, right?
Yes,
All right,
indeed.
I'm abstaining.
Don't. All right. Cool. Yes. So let's jump into the Spotify comment, please.
Okay.
It'll be a bit more structured today. I apologize for yesterday.
Yeah, yesterday went well, man. We should do that again. Oh, okay. Well, be careful what you wish for. Oh, that's respect for our comments. God damn. Hey, so
Let Emmanuel read it up, please.
why?
Because a couple are for him.
I didn't even pre through it.
Not that you can't read.
Let me see what's going on here.
All right. So the first comment is from Quids Fetish. And basically they say, after looking at the price of flights to Jamaica on Skyscanner, I might be with Margs on this Reform UK thing. I wouldn't mind a one-way ticket. All right.
Not bad idea, man.
Gio left a comment as well saying, you guys really embodied your roles for the debate. Everyone was cast perfectly. No matter how bleak the options, please everyone go out and vote sensibly. Turnout matters. Bring your ID.
How is our cast perfectly for reform, please?
Because you're the only one that could deliver the comedy needed. The only one.
For real. The next comment is from Indigo Van 2417. And they say, Brent, I need you to take a moment and let E-Man speak, especially in that conversation about African spirituality. Spirituality and science do meet each other. Look into metaphysics and the laws of the universe. Metaphysics speaks to occurrences that do not adhere to the law of physics as we know. It speaks to the power of the unknown. Look into the string theory. Okay, so something like what you were just saying regarding Stephen. Look into the string theory. There's so much to learn and you don't give the young man the chance to explain. It felt like you're ridiculing ancient belief systems which could be taken as ignorance. They left another comment saying
No. Before you move it, that's why I split it up.
Okay, cool.
All right. So first of all, I apologize for not letting you speak.
That's all right. I mean,
It's not all right.
no, but do you know why? It's because I was seeing it as That's not what we were chatting about yesterday.
I hear that, but I apologize if it came across like that. For those who were offended, it's cool. I will try to basically rein that in. Yeah, cool. And secondly, I do believe that fringe science can have marriage with science. Fringe religion, sorry.
Okay.
Can have no.
When you,
Fringe science can have marriage with religion.
okay, cool.
I believe that, right? But does mainstream science marry at all with spirituality?
I think it depends on who you talk to. And the reason why I say that is because I think the idea for most scientists, again, someone can correct me, but most scientists in mainstream, they're like, cool, let's talk science and let's leave religion at the door. We're not interested in making the two mix.
That's why I said mainstream.
Yes, exactly.
And I made the difference between fringe science.
Precisely.
Okay.
But there are many people who are part of the mainstream, though. I remember, I can't remember the guy's name now, but he's a devout Christian and everything. And he was, funny enough, I don't know why I'm now thinking of it. He was looking into geometric patterns as well, yeah, and relating those things to like just the magnificence and the glory of God, right? But he was a straight bona fide physicist. We can say.
You said he was linking it to the glory of God.
Yes.
Is he religious?
Yeah, he's a Christian.
This is it, right? And that's the factor. That's the element that changes things.
Okay.
I've heard a lot of Christian scientists speak, and they would marry them because they believe in God.
Sure.
Do you understand? But those who don't, remember, we were talking about Eric.
Yes.
And Eric is mainstream science, and he's not a religious man. Would he marry them?
But it's almost like asking. I don't think he would because he's not a religious man. He can't.
Well, he said that
He's incapable.
He said that they used to be entwined, and then obviously they got to a point where the scientists kind of stopped and separated religion from it.
Yeah.
But the original, like the basis of it is religion and science is mixed. That's what Eric said.
And this is why I was mentioning Galileo to you, because there was a time where the two were married, but then there had to be a split because he was looking at evidence, and then he was comparing evidence with an interpretation of scripture. There had to be a divide at some point. You know what I'm saying? That's why I mentioned it yesterday. But also on top of that, with regards to the question about mainstream and would they intertwine with religion, I think also you have to consider the fact that some people have different interpretations of what you call religion and spirituality. This is why I mentioned the book yesterday by Dr. Sophie, Professor Sophie Oluwole, right? People would look at African spirituality or look at Yoruba traditional belief systems and say, this is all garbage. This is all spirituality, intangible stuff. But she made the case to say, no, this is the same sort of classical philosophy that you'd get from Socrates, from the ancient world. You know what I'm saying? From classical philosophy. But it's present here in a way that you can't necessarily interpret it. So it's almost by nature together. You know what I'm saying?
Language. All right. So thank you very much for speaking, uninterrupted. The last part of that was, do I come across as though I don't believe that African spirituality is a thing?
What do you mean by thing?
As in, it works.
I don't think so. But I think I think you kind of render a lot of that stuff as
Don't go on there.
Okay,
No, 'cause
okay.
I consider myself.
All right,
Yourself?
cool,
I consider
cool.
myself.
but the reason why I'm saying that though is
Yeah.
because it still works.
Precisely.
That's what I'm
Precisely.
saying.
I can acknowledge it because I know it's real.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
know it's real. It's just where the source, the tip,
This is it.
dipping from, we differ.
Yeah.
Is it? All right, cool. All right, so I apologize for interrupting. Now the next part.
All right, so the next part is same person, Indigo Van 2417. Also, in terms of sacrifices, there's a practice that speaks to the universal law of equivalent exchange, meaning every action has an opposite reaction, give and take. It's a similar principle of monetary exchange, and I think this whole topic deserves its own section where someone with more knowledge and vocabulary takes their time to explain. Maybe African belief systems will then not appear as mystical to some of us anymore. Yep.
So Can you? Because it sounds as though that's a plea to get a African spiritualist to come on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can you go into your black book and then get a couple?
I can look and see if
Uncle. I did.
I can see if someone. Plus, there's a lot of these people online and stuff, innit? It would be good to get somebody who's I guess our age group, who has made the full blown transition to practicing their belief system like that. You know what I'm saying? Because obviously they would have kind of like knowledge of both realms. But I'm glad they mentioned this. This is why I made that comparison yesterday about Christ and eating my flesh and drinking my blood. You know what I'm saying? Not to say, oh, it was a real thing. He was saying, you know, take bites out of my calf muscle and everything's there. But more so, just to indicate that a lot of these principles that you see in scripture are evident in Africa too. But when we look at the African doing it, we say this guy's an animal, he's a cannibal, he's demonic. But it's the same sort of thing. It's just that we've seen a lot of... Unfortunately, a lot of our perceptions of our own belief systems have been seen through cameras, seen through TV, and not necessarily seen with our own eyes and spoke to people who practice the belief system. Because nobody's back home killing people and eating and drinking their blood. No one's doing that. We're not cannibals. You know what I'm saying? But, yeah.
It was difficult to understand you using that particular comparison.
Okay.
Because one is a metaphor, and the other is actual physical sacrifice.
Not of human beings, though.
I didn't say that.
No, I'm just making that clear because obviously I spoke about Christ.
But you still compared them.
Yeah, but remember, like the person saying sacrifice, where did the idea of Christ sacrificing himself come from?
From the animals.
Precisely.
Yes.
Prior to that, Judaism,
right? What I'm saying is that you could have gone with that. You could have gone with, in the Old Testament, this is how it was done.
This is why in the Govan said you cut me off.
What?
This is why they said you cut me off.
Remember, I introduced that to talk about what we were talking about with Eric.
Yeah.
I would say that Eric wouldn't even give any time to the sacrifice, whether you used the Old Testament, whether you used the New Testament form of sacrifice, or exchange of energy, right? He would still look at you and say, sorry, cool, go.
Yeah.
That's the only point I was making.
Okay.
Do you understand? And that's why I want you just to focus on what I was saying as opposed to going to talk about this and that. Because even if Izzy went to the Old Testament to say, this is where it began, Eric would have still said, remove that. This is no time for this. Because that's his form of science. That's his form of reality. You understand? Anyway, next one.
All right, so the next comment is from Anonymous. So, hi, I'm a black woman and I have a crush on Ramsey. Can I still be pro-black? Ha ha ha. Banter banter. I know he's married, but yeah. Ooh, if he wasn't, wink. Continue to have him on the show. Haha, he's great. Muggs is fine too. Bye.
United Nations.
Sorry, see, this is the problem. Read Violin's latest comment.
Where is that? In the chat?
Yeah. Okay. Let me read it instead so you don't find it. It says, no, Brent, Abraham tried to sacrifice his son, so there was also human sacrifice.
Okay.
Was there also human sacrifice? Why did he try to sacrifice his son?
Because, why laughing?
Go on.
Because God instructed him.
Specifically.
No, but Brent, let me try and, I don't want to put words in Violin's mouth.
No, she's fine with you doing that. Go on.
Let's look at this. Let's step slightly 1 foot outside the Bible. And let's look at where Abraham came from. Heir of the Chaldeans, right? And where he went to.
Heir of the Chaldeans.
And where he went to, right? And the Canaanites and their history with the Canaanites, i.e. the fact that Hebrews, likely the evidence is saying they are Canaanites, right? And at some point there was a split. And this is when they started, I'm speaking very general here, but this is where they sort of started their own history of sorts, right? Once there was a split between their viewpoint and that of the mainstream Canaanite, right? They would have been sacrificing human beings too, man.
Pagans, 100%.
Yes.
So don't look
No,
to
no,
basics.
no, no,
Don't
no.
do what you're looking to do right
No,
now.
no. The reason why I'm saying that is, but you may say it's paganism. See, the conversation will go into more of a more.
And we're not
deep-
doing that.
Okay,
We will
yeah,
take another
yeah,
day to do that.
yeah.
We're not doing that.
This is why I
today.
said I don't want to.
I don't want you to conflate anything.
Yes, but
I
this
want
is
you to
why.
basically say that Christianity started with the sacrificing of human beings because that's where it's going. That's where it's going.
All right, cool.
All right.
Another day we'll have that
Yeah.
conversation.
Push on.
All right. So yes, Brent, I also watched the Terrence Howard, Eric Weinstein conversation on JRE, Joe Rogan podcast.
Wake up.
Why did you finish it?
Not all of it.
How far did you get into it?
I watched a few hours.
Okay. Like 2/3 roughly.
I'll have to see where I got to. I've watched over half of it, I believe.
Okay.
I know you had a rough night yesterday. Like something happened on the timeline. Did it cause commotion?
Me?
Oh, it never touched you. Oh, fair enough.
You know, sometimes I wonder if you know who you're talking to. I had a peaceful night. I watched Terrence Howard. What about it? I mean, I'm sorry, but I don't care.
Never mind.
Yeah, it didn't. It doesn't. Those things don't touch me. I don't give a shit what people.
Cool.
Yeah, so yeah, I've seen more than half of it. I feel like I can come.
No, you can't. That's all right.
Why?
Sorry, Indigo. I apologize for interrupting you. Please finish.
You didn't interrupt me. You made a statement. I want to know why.
Because you haven't finished watching it.
Why is there something that is there like a Easter egg at the end?
Yeah.
Okay,
100%.
go on then.
I'm sure if it's only halfway through, he didn't get to linchpin.
I've got him talking about Lynchpin. I said I've watched more than half.
Okay, cool.
Oh, so now I've seen Lynchpin.
No, there's still more. I mean, did you hear him singing?
Yep.
Twice?
Yep.
You really did watch more than half.
I told you I watched more than half. I don't understand why when I say things, you think I just say them for sake
Because
of
you
saying
also
it.
said you watched half. You understand? That's my confusion.
I said I watched at least half, and then I said I watched more of half of it. I've seen more than half of it.
All right, cool. All right, go on, Emmanuel.
Yes, man. So watched it, and again, people join the Discord. This is what I was saying in the Discord yesterday, man. And this is pretty much what I was saying to you yesterday on the show. That this is the reason why I do want to watch it, because I felt like what I was hoping for happened. You had somebody who knows what they're talking about, and I'm saying this respectfully, by the way. I don't mean it in any sort of crazy way, but somebody who really knows what they're talking about, educating somebody who wants to know.
That
stuff.
can't be what you wanted to happen from what you saw.
Why?
Okay, go on, make your point.
Because
You're right.
Because what was happening is you've got somebody who's enthusiastic, right? Who really wants to learn and create things and just be able to bring to life all these ideas that he has in his mind. But he gets the fundamentals wrong all the time. And this is why somebody who kind of knows about the fundamentals, when they hear it, it's annoying and frustrating, because the guy, and this is what Eric kept saying, he said, you just keep teaching. In fact, I even quoted it. I even wrote it down so that I can read it out to you guys. Yeah, but he pretty much said to him, sorry, one sec. You keep teaching, and where is it? Okay, cool. He said, you do this thing where you teach, and your teaching is not good. You tell us stuff that is not true, and we can tell it's not true. And then we say, I can throw out the entirety of what you're saying. You know what I'm saying? And this is the problem. It's one of the most accurate things that I think Eric said that was pertinent to the entire thing that Terrence produced the first time he came around. We could tell that a lot, especially if you have somewhat of a scientific background, yeah, you could tell that he's just wrong about so many things, and it's annoying because you're thinking, how do you build upon such shaky foundations, right? And what happened?
It's important that you just focus on what was said and conveyed in the interview. When you said you can tell he was wrong about a lot of things. What are you talking about?
The first interview.
No, the one that you just watched.
No, but Terence was talking and saying his things and stuff, yeah. But he wasn't always. It was more so Eric that was leading the conversation, and then going back to him and saying, "Okay, cool. Tell me what you think about this. Let me know about your idea." So I'm not just critiquing something that's in my mind. I'm critiquing something that you're saying to me. So again, same thing that happened on the Discord when I was saying to the guys. It's hard to not bring up the 1 times 1 thing, right?
Yeah, but Eric was trying to teach him stuff, or trying to get him to use his language and his way of thought, and he didn't just accept everything. He still pushed back and challenged and said what he was thinking in it. So even the idea of him being wrong is still within the parameters that you are working with, and he explained that he's working in kind of in different parameters, if that makes sense. So it wasn't just like Eric shut him down and said, you're wrong,
No.
and he just accepted it and said, oh yeah, for real.
No, you're right, 100%. I'm not saying that. Like, I hope it doesn't come across that way. Like, I'm not saying he was just saying you're wrong, this is garbage. He was trying to help him as well. And I think that was a good thing that Eric was doing, because what he was making clear to him is that nobody else is going to do this for you.
He was literally trying to help him speak like
Correctly.
another language. It's like he's trying to help him
100%.
speak French.
Yes.
He's not trying to help him construct the context of his sentences. And the things that you're saying. He's trying to help you speak in a way that everybody else is going to understand. That's what the conversation was about. But it wasn't about rubbishing his whole mindset and his ideas and all of these things.
No,
it was about
you're
making yourself look stupid because of the things that you're saying don't make sense to us. It's not that now I'm here now. It's not that they don't make sense, because that's what you're saying. He said, I'm here to try and challenge your train of thought. He said, most people wouldn't do this, innit? I'm going to even try and understand where you're coming from. Try and understand what you're trying to say. And a lot of the time, they found common ground on the things that he was trying to say.
Yes.
He was explaining to him, this is how you say it so you don't look like a psychopath.
Yes.
So what you're saying is kind of disingenuous.
No, what you're saying is, do you know why? I'll tell you why. Because what you're saying is accurate, right? But also on top of that, he's not only just helping him say it in a different language, he's also correcting him. So it's kind of like me saying to somebody who's a fashion designer saying, look, I make shirts, right? And then this person comes along and says, okay, cool. I hear what you're saying. I understand that the material that you sew together covers the top half of the body, right? And you're calling it a shirt. But a shirt typically means you can put your arms through it. Yours does not do that. So what we're going to do is, let's call it a shirt if you want, but open up the seams here, open up this up here, and then it's like he gave it more life to make sense, yes, but also to be accurate, to at least have a solid foundation. He was correcting things, not just giving him new language. He was correcting things.
Yep.
And became apparent because Terence would interject and say, I'm trying to think of an example. He would say things like, I can't think of an example.
Yeah, that analysis is incorrect, because what it suggests is though the function of the shirt is no longer what the world basically would call a shirt. It's a different thing entirely. Even though he's saying, yes, it functions as a shirt as you know it. That's why I said the analogy is incorrect, because this thing that he made had no way to put your arms through and move freely.
Yeah.
That's not what Eric is now coming to say and call it something else.
No, but the reason why I mention that is speaking to the fact that Terence would then interject and say, but look at what I've done. This is correct, and you guys have got it wrong.
And that's why I said
That's
you can't
why.
do that, because what Terence is showing you is that he has done the same thing they have done. And how are you screwing your face up?
Go on, no, continue.
Eric's thing was, this is not new. It's already been done.
Yep.
So what you're saying is incorrect.
No, but he's saying what you've done is not new, but he's also correcting him and saying, if it was tweaked like this in some respect, this is what the professional has done. So he's not just saying
just now. You said words, and it doesn't correlate to what was actually done.
I wish I wrote more of it down.
But I thought you would have, because you would have wanted to.
And
my friend,
also,
you took time to write certain things in Discord. And
but I was doing something
you
at the time.
took time to quote the things that you wanted to basically put in Discord. You would have definitely come to basically quote this thing that you're seeing right now.
No, I was doing something at the time. And this is why I was saying in Discord, I'm on the move in it, so I can't I was busy. So those were the opportunities I could. For the bulk of it, from like 1 hour something to like 4 hours, I couldn't do any of that stuff. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. I mean, the way you guys see it is not entirely how I see it. I'm seeing it as somebody who's trying to help him, doesn't want him to be discouraged and all that stuff, sees a lot of value in what he's doing, but is helping him remove the crap. Even though the person is saying
he wasn't saying
crap there.
He's saying this crap in the way that you're moving. He wasn't saying this is a thing, this is a thing. He's saying this ain't these words that you're using, I don't understand. Or what you're saying this is
words,
what you're saying this is, isn't it is. It's like with the negative space thing, and he's showing the thing and saying you're saying this is negative space and whatnot. And then he broke it down to him and said that's not negative space. And my man saying it is, he goes, it's not negative space, because in my thing, you need this to have negative space, it's positive space. And then he broke down to him why people are saying why you look like an idiot because you don't know what you're talking about, yeah? He didn't tell him that space, whatever they're talking about, is not a thing.
Yes. And also
do you get what I'm saying?
symmetry.
Yeah.
He also used that flagrantly wrong, and he's telling him, he even laughed at a piece and said, look, you keep saying it, but this is what it means over here.
Yeah.
Do you understand? He wasn't saying it does not exist. What you're doing or showing me doesn't exist. You're using the wrong word.
And that's what a lot of the whole thing was. It was like he was teaching. It was like it was a seminar. It was like he was teaching him. But like I said, he wasn't. He didn't just poo-poo everything he said and saying this don't make no sense. There was some stuff where he was saying, I'm not even going to trouble that. I don't even know how your brain got there. That's not what I'm here for. I'm not even going to talk about it. There was some stuff that he done that with. That was cool. But a lot of the things that they actually took the time to entertain him with. He was, like I said, he was educated. He wasn't saying that what you're saying is a total myth, or is total nonsense, or it doesn't exist, or rare. It wasn't. He was saying, the words that you're using, my community, we've got a whole language and a whole way of talking. This don't make sense. What you're saying here, it doesn't make sense. Not because of, not the physical, the action of it, you get me? Not the theory of, not the practical of it, but I'm saying it don't make sense because the words you're using and the way you're conveying this, and you're saying you're trying to teach, but you're teaching us nonsense because we don't speak like this. You know what I'm trying to say? It's not that actually what you're doing.
Yeah, don't teach us your backward English, please.
Yeah, it's not. He wasn't actually saying what you're doing is nonsense, and that's why they could sit down. Because a man that smart couldn't sit down and have a conversation and go back and forth with that man. Or if it's pure nonsense like you're making out.
No. But this is what I'm trying to say to you guys. I'm not trying to be disrespectful or make it seem as though he's just chatting gibberish. Like everything he was saying was garbage. But at least from my perspective, I can see what Eric was trying to do, right? It's kind of like, all right, cool. You know how you get these hoteps that you guys laugh at, right? And you get them saying, I can say the N-word, right? Just in this context.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Niggas come from negus, right? Cool, and they talk about how it comes from Ethiopia. So really, when you say nigga, it's a term of endearment. It's a good thing. And they say stuff like Israel is really a Kemetic or Egyptian word because the IS comes from Isis, the Ra is from, obviously, Amun-Ra, and El is from the god El. What they've done is they're connecting dots that don't exist. You've read something over here, right? And you thought, wow, this is amazing. Like, I can see how this is connected. Isis, of course, Isis there is one of the gods in the Egyptian what do you call it? The pantheon of gods in Egyptian thought, plus Ra, and I can see where obviously the Israelites came out of Egypt, so I can see the link. Like, oh, it must have come from there. All of that stuff is fake. It's fake. And what happens is when you get somebody who knows what they're talking about, knows how to look at the etymology of words and break things down, and show them where Israel may have actually come from, because they're looking at this historically in proper context. What they may do is actually tell them that you're chatting garbage, this is pseudo, like you don't deserve to be talking here. Or say to them, I see what you're doing here. I understand why you think there's a link between Israel and this, but this, that, and the third. And you're well read. You've read a lot of the books by these people. And they don't want to discourage them. They want to encourage them because they've done the work that most people won't do, right? And so there's a lot of truth in what they're saying. Okay, yes, Israel did come out this particular time during this particular time period and all this type of stuff. But the links that you think you're seeing here do not exist. And Eric was trying to say to him, you're doing yourself a big disservice because what you're doing is you have good observational skills here, but then you're linking it to stuff that you should not be doing. I can't think of examples right now. But if you guys have watched it, watch it. Or haven't watched it, watch it. don't do that, because what you're doing is, we know that this is fundamentally like garbage. Don't do that, because now we look at you like this is just a joke. So this is why he tried to stop Terence from teaching, because Terence was talking about stuff that is just wrong. And this is why, again, when he said to him, you're not a good teacher, like, not that you're not a good teacher as such, right? But he just said, your teaching is not good. You tell us stuff that is not true, and we can tell it's not true. And then we say, okay, I can throw everything out that he's saying. Terence Howard said, what did I say that's not true? The guy said, how about 1 × 1 = 2? And you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not trying to bring him back there and all that sort of stuff.
No, you're not. But Joe also asked throughout the particular interview, he asked him several times, but is what he's saying not true?
Yeah.
He asked Eric that. Is what he's showing you not true?
Yeah.
Do you understand? And that matters. And that's what we're talking about. Yes, the language is wrong. You're speaking in a language in which is you have taught yourself, right? And you also have your own language, terminology or whatever it was. So we can tell that he is using the non-standard quote unquote English. And Eric is saying, you're not going to be acceptable over here if it is using that, because what you are saying is not attached to anything of substance.
That we do. And even in the 1+1 argument, it wasn't just he didn't just thing it off him. He said what he said, and then they had a back and forth about it, and they was going back and forth about it. And it's like what you were saying.
Yeah.
When Terence is giving his reasons for why he thinks like that, my man's stopping him and saying, is them things that he's saying true? There's times where he's saying, yeah. He's saying, yeah, it is true, but he's coming to the wrong conclusion. Do you get what I'm trying to say?
This is
no,
what
but
I'm trying to say to you,
that's
Mark.
from his. But that's still a matter of.
It's not language. It's
Not language. No, I'm saying there comes from a matter of opinion now, if that makes sense.
That's not opinion.
Secretly, because obviously from there, he's working in different parameters, so he's gonna get different answers, innit? His reasonings for why he's working in different parameters, my man can understand them and agree with them, but he still don't work with these parameters. He's still saying, we don't do this. Regardless of what you're saying, your arguments sound cool and whatnot, but we don't do this. To me, that doesn't sound like it's just totally based in nonsense. It sounds like it's two different perspectives.
I fully understand what you're saying, but the reason why I'm pushing back is because it gives the impression that Terence was right about, I know you're not saying this is the case, but about everything. It was just a case of language and just understanding the language. When that wasn't the case, there were things the guy was just wrong about. And this is why he said, you were wrong. And he said, about what? 1 × like, even when he was giving the explanation, he said to him,
example you're giving is the 1 × 1, Imana. Can you hear your what you're saying? The only example you're giving is the 1 × 1.
That's why you're throwing out the baby with the bathwater.
No.
That's literally what you did. No, because we've been here for days and you can't cite anything apart from the 1 × 1. And that's the whole point why he said to him that he don't want you to do that, because this is what people are going to do to you. When you do stuff like this, this is what people are going to do to you. So you watch the thing and you still can't cite nothing else. This is what your whole thing's based on.
The reason why is because, oh man, I really wish I took the notes, because then I would show you.
You didn't take notes. You just quote.
No. I didn't take notes during the times where he was like giving him examples of stuff he shouldn't be talking about, because it was replete throughout the thing. You know, it wasn't just a case of, oh, you know what, like it's right, but you're just saying the wrong words. That wasn't correct.
Again, it's from perspective, and you looked at it with, you went in it with this in your heart, and this is what you received from it. No. So you watched that, and you believed that was damning towards him,
towards Terence.
Yeah.
This is what I'm trying to say to you. My whole thing was, I'm not seeing it that way. I'm seeing it as, and again, this is why I watched it. I saw it as this was a teaching moment. The reason why formal education has value, and this is the reason why, because you can have people who've never had formal education who are sharp, right? But they need to have that back and forth. You need to deal with people who do have a formal education, because there's certain things in formal education that you just can't get from barbershop conversations. And this is what I'm basically trying to say. It was good that Eric had the heart to come in and say, listen, I'm not here to disparage you or make you look like an idiot, but please refrain from saying these particular things, because these are basics to us that we know are wrong. And when you say this stuff, it turns us away. And this is the reason why I had the attitude I had when I first watched it, because he was saying things that whenever I would hear them, just was just frustrating my brain. You know what I'm saying? Like, it made it difficult to listen to the rest of the stuff.
Let's push on a little bit, yeah. Do you believe that he gave Terence credibility?
I think he did, because he was basically saying to him, look, you have a brilliant mind, and some of the things that you're talking, especially when it comes to the geometry stuff, a lot of that stuff is cool. But when you start talking about gravity, that's
let's
one
focus
example.
on
By the
one
way.
thing at a time,
Yeah,
please.
cool.
Let's focus on one thing at a time. Why do you call him brilliant?
Because he's able to observe certain things and like he came up with good stuff in it.
It's one thing for,
and he gave him credit for the fact that because he wasn't, I guess, because he's self-taught, he was able to use errors to help.
I'll get onto that.
Yeah,
I'll get onto that. It's one thing for Joe Rogan to call a man brilliant, and it's one thing for Eric to call a man brilliant.
Okay.
Do you see the distinction?
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What do you get from what I'm saying?
One's come from an expert, one's coming from not an expert.
So, was there weight in that?
Of course.
Undue weight?
Undue? I wouldn't say it's undue.
Your estimation?
I wouldn't say so.
Why?
Because an expert who knows what he's talking about is saying, look, I see what you're doing here. I see what you're doing here. I see, like to me, education is about your thinking capacity. Like, a good teacher shouldn't tell you what to think, but teach you how to think. And Terence seems to be able to look at things. And I gave an example. I don't want to go off on a tangent here, but I gave an example of one of the people I look up to, one of my heroes, Michael Faraday, who had no formal education. But this is one of the greatest chemists of all time. Without him, there is no Einstein. There is no relativity. There is no understanding of electromagnetism. Nothing. But the thing of the reason why I bring up Faraday is because he understood the value of formal education. So he tried to, do that sort of stuff. But it stopped him. It stopped short in terms of him being able to prove his observations because he needed maths. Maths is the language. Again, this is why I wrote in the Discord what Eric said. Maths is the language or the system of logic. You can't come to me, tell me this is correct, this, that, and the third, and not have the numbers, the formula to back it up. Faraday knew, or at least tried to, but he couldn't because he didn't have that formal education. He needed Maxwell to come a generation later to prove him right. I say all that just to say, all the stuff that Terence is doing, the observational skills, is brilliant. It's there, right? But the next step that Terence believes he himself is making are flawed.
So don't go.
Because they challenge the status quo.
Wait. I'm here with Manuel. All right.
Before, just so I don't forget, because you mentioned that, it reminded me of one of the things he was wrong about. Yeah, no such thing as straight lines. But anyway, we'll come back to that.
Go on. What did he say about that? Seeing as we're here.
This is exactly what I said on the show when I said to you, "Is this a straight line?" Right, and you was like, "Oh no, I can't remember what the back and forth was." Exactly what happened on the show.
They were man-made. We were talking about it in nature.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
Go on.
And then I was basically saying to you, but nobody thinks that, because essentially when you get to a certain level, everyone knows that's just not the nature of how things are, like at a molecular level.
What did Eric say about that? Please, I beg you, be
Tell
specific.
me.
No, I know what he said. So
No,
when
tell
you
me,
said
tell me.
one thing that he was incorrect about is straight lines, I want you to elaborate on that point because I remember that.
Okay, I can't tell you what Eric
So
said.
why did you say it was wrong then?
Because it was wrong.
What
he
was
saying.
wrong?
Him saying there's no such thing as straight lines.
So there are?
We know there's no straight lines. Like nobody thinks in life.
So he is right.
No, what I'm trying to say is, I said this on the first time we were talking about this, that you're making observations about stuff nobody's talking about. Not that he was wrong. I said this the first time. So I've said it wrong now. But remember, I said this the first time, though.
I'm just warning you. He's nearly
No,
got,
but
he's
remember,
nearly got, he's
remember.
He's nearly got you. I know the E-Man fan club might not like this, but I'm just letting you know.
No.
As a bystander watching, I'm letting you know he's nearly got you. Go on, Brent. Take it home if you want, because he's nearly got you.
No.
Go on.
This is it's a bit mad, only because when we initially started talking about it, you were saying, what the hell is he talking about, right? And remember, off the back of what he originally said was we should be building homes with this natural curvature, because and that's why he said what he said, right?
Yeah.
Now, even in the interview, what did Eric say about his comment about straight lines?
I can't remember.
All
Tell
right.
me.
So he pushed back on that.
Okay.
He said, what are you talking about? What is this? And he said, but if you look at the molecular level, it's not like that. He said, that's what you're going to use for everything. That's what Eric said. That every time I mention that, you're going to go there. And then Joe was like, well, he has a point. He has a point. That was it. So I don't know why you mentioned that just now.
What do you mean he has a point?
He has a point. If Eric is saying, hey, no, that doesn't make sense because look at this. And then Terence said, if you look at it from the molecular level, It's not straight.
It's the same thing
And
where
then
he said
Eric
with
said,
everything.
you're going to say the same thing for every straight line I show you.
And
And then he's like, but molecular. And then Joe's like, well, he has a point.
But no, but
that's
but
why I
this
don't
is-
like the argument. It's the same thing he said about the movement, where he said about still thing. He said, nope, everything's got movement in it, even on this good, like
Yes,
on a
molecular, it's
level,
moving.
Yeah.
it's moving.
Yes.
It's the same argument
Yes,
that he
yeah,
was
yeah.
making. He was saying, but then you're going to turn around and like, he didn't just. Brent's right.
No, but this is what I said to you the first time we had this conversation.
Don't even, let's forget about this. This is just a non-issue. I don't even
Okay,
care about
cool.
that. I really don't care
Alright,
about that, right?
Also, one last thing. Also, when he's talking about energy, everything with energy moves. And he said, no, it doesn't. He said, yes, it does. Potential energy.
Oh,
It's just
that's the thing that Eric mentioned.
Yeah, and said that Terrence
I
was wrong
love
about.
I love that because I didn't understand the first point, and I like the fact that he said, well, have you considered this?
Mm-hmm.
But what was Terrence's response to that?
The same thing.
had a-
On a
he had-
molecular level,
he had
you
a
look
response.
still, but on a molecular level, it's moving. That's the whole point.
And
he said-
again,
and that's why
I
he was
love
saying
it.
this ain't gonna work. That's what Eric was like, bro. This ain't gonna work because
Yes.
no matter what I say, that's what you're gonna go
Yes.
down to. And
And
it's
that's
opposing mindsets and opposing views and opposing perspectives. It's not just what you're saying is nonsense. You can't just use it because he challenged him as what he's saying is nonsense. For me personally, obviously, like I said, there's a lot of people that watch this with your eyes and went in there wanting a certain result in it. And you're happy to run around and call this man an idiot and call this man a madman and he's a psychopath and he's this and he's that and he's stupid and and everybody's happy to do it and that's what they want to do. Yeah. So I don't understand how you can watch somebody, that is the complete and total opposite of that, sit down with this man and even have to take the time out to even try and educate him and have a conversation with him, So someone that you should be championing now then, because you've got your class crown and your full hair. Here we've got goddamn the messiah of sense as far as we're concerned, And he sat down with him and he hasn't called him an idiot or a madman or a fool. He just misguided in his from in his way, And user will still now, after the fact, after you're saying sitting down and watching it,
One times one is like such and such.
I'll still push your own agenda. It doesn't make sense to me because
I'll get
not
to
a
that.
case
No,
of-
that's why I said you couldn't have received what you wanted to receive from watching this. Because I watched it with the same eyes as you, but now you've massaged them into whatever you want.
no. Do you know why? It's because from
This
my
is unfair
perspective,
to me.
from my,
I haven't finished what I was
Okay, go on,
doing.
go
You
on,
guys
go on.
segued
Go
in
on,
a
go on.
massive way, right?
Sorry.
No, because I know where we can go. We can go with this. I know where we can go with this. Because I came in this particular conversation knowing what Iman was going to do. I knew what he was going to do. But I know how to basically have you focus on the things that matter so that when we come out of this, there is some good, right? So you mentioned that there was irregularities in his math,
Yeah.
right? Now, the linchpin part.
Yes.
What did Eric say about the linchpin model? That he said, I don't think many people.
He bigged him up for it.
What did he big him up for?
For the error. Is that the part we're talking
Error.
about?
He said that. How did he describe the error?
I can't remember.
It was either beautiful or perfect
Beautiful error,
error,
something
something,
like that,
like that, right?
yeah.
And he said that was brilliant.
But you see, this is why.
Wait. And what did Terrence do when he mentioned it?
Can't remember.
He shyly went like that and he kind of giggled
I was happy.
because he realized you are a brilliant man, Eric. Nobody, I have never mentioned that this is how I got this to work. But you've pointed
Oh,
out
you
that there
recognised.
is, yeah. And then not
100%.
only that, you knew I had to do that. I had to bend the math in order to make this brilliant in your estimation. And you were like, this is what you have introduced to the world. This itself is brilliant.
Yeah.
So in that moment, and a little wry giggle, brother, I'm like, Terrence knows what the hell he's talking about.
With
He's-
regards to that, yeah.
I
With
could
regards to
only-
loads, this is funny.
Don't jump in yet.
go
Don't jump in yet. My point to you, Emmanuel, is with every inventor, with every madman, whatever beautiful discipline, whether it's philosophy, whether it's art, whether it's science, there's going to be a lot of misses before there is a hit.
Oh, 100%.
No, there's going to be plenty
100%.
assumptions. The theory,
Yes.
even before you look to put it in practice,
Yes.
could be absolutely bonkers.
Yeah, of
You
course.
have to dare before
Yes.
you reach.
Yes.
And that is how I see Terrence.
And that's and
His
that's a beautiful
mind,
thing.
and I think a lot of the times that's the why is I even get so incensed about this topic is because I see Terrence, I see me in Terrence. I don't speak the regular language. I make up words all the time, right? I even my mind formulates things. I can't even articulate it in the manner in which you can articulate it. You speak so beautifully and so many. I can't do that, right? I don't want to be just cast aside because my mind works differently than you. I don't want to be cast aside if it is the language in which is I speak. You see results, but it's not in the form and wrapping as what you would understand. Do you understand? So I'm seeing, even if he had plenty misses, and I do believe he had plenty misses, the models that he brought, all of the models in that box, they weren't misses. They were all hits. They were all hits because he's shown you. And he can then say, I just want someone to check my math, right? Because that's what Eric said. We will get you in with a group of students to basically translate what you have done into something we could understand. Do you understand? He didn't say everything is wrong. He said, no, if you want to play with us, you need to speak like us, right? And in order to do that, I will give you some math students to basically translate that. I thought that was so beautiful. That teaching moment doesn't say everything you're doing is wrong, because why would he send those mathematicians to go there and waste time?
Can I add something to that though? It's
when I'm finished my monologue.
No,
when I finish my monologue.
Right,
So
go on.
when he has put this linchpin in front of him and said, if you just focus on this and forget everything else, you bring this to the world, this is brilliant.
Yeah.
And in that moment, Eric even suggested that he too thought about this some time ago, didn't he?
Yes, yeah.
But he couldn't do it.
Imagine. And Terence not only thought about it, but he went through to completion.
100%.
And I thought, if anybody should take anything from this, even if you want to hone in on your bias of you think he's a madman because he said one time Tony such and such, this was created and it was from a mind that was brilliant. Why not just take that and say, I beg you, give him praise for that.
No, but this is the thing though. I agree with everything you said, 100%. Some of the people that again, this is why I bring up Michael Faraday. This is why I bring up even some of the people that I look up to in various areas of life. Look at music, for example. The way certain guys used to rap back in the day in the 80s, having to drop certain words on the snare, and then people like Cool G Rap and Nas coming and Rakim and changing things, right? It was seen as wrong, it was seen as offbeat, it was seen as this don't make no sense by certain people. But then you saw the genius in it, right? I have no problem with that at all. This is the reason why you get people like, what's his name, Ozzy Osbourne, who had no proper musical education, can come and create things because he was able to hear things that those who were classically trained during that time wasn't going to hear. It happens in all areas of life. But I think the issue is, and I think this is what Eric spoke to as well, is that Terence will have something, and like you said, you will have like a lot of errors that come with your thing, trying to find the good in it. I think Terence comes and says the errors, that at least errors to mainstream community is real. And I think that's what we find an issue, because it's like, wait a minute, some of this stuff has been established to not be, and you're trying to teach me that it is. So I feel like I'm wasting my time. You see what I'm saying? And
But you're not even thinking out of the box and thinking out of the parameters. He's not saying he's tried. You're not even prepared to hear why he thinks it's wrong.
No, it's
and
not
if the
that.
grounds of what he thinks he's wrong are based in sense, then there's a conversation to have. That's why he just had it with a smart man. You came up here before and said that he was a total idiot and he was this and he was that, and his periodic table is nonsense. Now someone who's way smarter than you, I watched him call him brilliant for it, said he hates the way the periodic table is, showed him references of somebody else who he says one of the greatest minds he's ever known, and lined it up with his and said he's brilliant for it now. Are you prepared to now say he's actually brilliant for this periodic table? Because if not, then you're not prepared to put your biases aside at all.
That's not the case.
Is he still an idiot for his periodic table? No, I'm asking you a question.
Let me put it this way.
In your opinion.
Wait. Let me say this. I don't think Terence is an idiot. I don't think he's an idiot in general. I really don't. I think he said very idiotic things, right? But if I'm being honest, I don't think he's an idiot. To be honest with you, to be the person he is anyway, to get to where he is, as an actor, everything that he's doing, right? He can't be an idiot. I know that for a fact.
Which is fine. Cool. I'm trying to prove a point. I'm trying to see how people can't put their biases aside.
No, I can't.
Because at one point,
yeah,
you said he was a madman and a fool for his periodic table.
The reason why I said that,
somebody that you would respect, because you're an intellectual man, someone that's proven in that field, as an intellectual man, has sat next to him and praised him for his thoughts on his periodic table. Also showed him someone else that he thinks is an actual genius.
Yes.
Who thinks the same thing he does.
Yeah.
They actually sat down and was playing tones of the periodic table on the harmonica and singing it with the keys. Okay. So he's validated him in my mind, I'm asking, in your mind now, has that changed your thought on Terence, or is he still an idiot to you? Because people are not putting their biases aside.
What it has done is changed my thoughts on the fact
Just about the periodic table as well, I'm talking.
Yeah, I know. It's changed my thoughts on the fact that you could potentially arrange the periodic table according to frequencies, right? Cool. It has not changed my thoughts on what I said earlier about him saying Mendeleev's periodic table is wrong, because to me it's not wrong. Even though Eric Weinstein is saying, he doesn't like it, I don't care what Eric thinks about him not liking it. It's not wrong though. You know what I'm saying? Because based on that periodic table, we've got a lot of other things. We're able to predict certain things. It's proven to be right. Can it be updated? Yes. You know what I'm saying? I have no problem with that. So yeah, that's my answer. That's kind of how I see it,
brother. And in that answer is for me the future.
All right,
the update.
Okay,
because that's what he's suggesting. We have hit a ceiling where we don't have to hit a ceiling, especially for the things that you don't have answers to.
Yeah,
especially when it comes to everything that is.
And again, I'm not trying to in any way take away the positives from it. Granted, I would admit, my first listening to that first one, maybe I did come with the things that Eric said the scientific community should not do. I did come hearing what I thought was garbage, still is garbage, those things I heard, and it prevented me from taking the time to take the other stuff serious, right? Because I feel like, how do you build upon something that has rocky foundations? If you're telling me there's no such thing as zero, if you're telling me there's 1 times 1, 2, and some of the other things he mentioned, Mendeleev's periodic table being wrong, and like
you just taking out all the meat of the things that he's saying. Because if he can explain to you why he was saying it, he was saying there was a point in time, where mathematics used to represent something, used to represent a physical thing. Yeah, all the numbers that they had used to represent a physical thing. If you have 1, it's 1 key, very rare. Then it got to the point where the numbers don't need to represent anything. It's all imaginary in your head. This is from what he's saying. Yeah. It's all imaginary. Once you work in those constraints and those rules, you can go anywhere with the maths because they don't actually represent anything. He's saying the proper true math is when the numbers represent something.
But that's not true.
And he's saying there was a point when but obviously it's a matter of opinion. But I'm saying even in that argument, he didn't just Eric didn't just
shoot him down.
He gave his explanation of why and whatnot. And then there's certain things that he was saying, and Joel's asking him, is he right about this?
Yeah.
He couldn't tell him he's wrong. So again, it's opposing opinions, it's different perspectives. It's not just nonsense. Just because you don't agree with it or because you don't want to come from that point of view, it doesn't mean that what he's saying is just entrenched in bullshit.
I understand what you're saying, and I agree with you. This is what I said. I agree with some of the stuff you're saying. But some of the stuff, and this is why I also said in the Discord, that I hope what Eric is saying to big him up doesn't come across like he's endorsing everything or more than he should be. So when you're talking about, maths is based on imaginary stuff, it shouldn't be done. No, it should be. This is the reason why we have maths, numbers and formulas, to make us imagine a world that we can create. You need to have that. You can't tell me, because I can't do this physically, it's wrong. That doesn't work. It doesn't work. It has to be the imagination. That's what math is for. So we can perceive the universe that we can't see where we stand.
Okay, but
from where we're standing.
Also, with that logic, you have to understand that you can go wrong with it. You can imagine anything.
100%.
I think that's just the argument that he's trying to make.
Yeah. But this is the beauty of maths. It doesn't discriminate. Numbers are real. One unit here is one unit any other part of the universe. So when you tell me, again, and this is why it becomes some sort of way to people who come from this sort of world, because it's like when you tell me that it can be this or it can change or see it from my perspective, and it becomes like, do you know what I'm saying? Like,
math does discriminate. Right. And correct me if I'm wrong, keep it in the same vein as mainstream math, right? Are there formulas that are accepted and then later down the line it is changed?
Of course.
Why?
Updated, better, more accurate.
When you say updated,
Yeah.
is it that it was proven to be untrue?
See, what you're doing potentially, I don't want to put words or thoughts into your mind, is you're applying the implications of the maths. The maths itself, the numbers, the formula is not wrong. How I am arranging the formula could be wrong.
Explain.
So, to maybe equal, I don't know, some particular thing, right? I may say 1 times 1 equals this particular thing, right? And I've moved on from there and said, you know what, this is proof that da 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 da. Now, the number has proved that what I'm saying is correct, right? Even though the result is wrong, because obviously maybe the house that I'm building based on this formula is wrong. But it's not because the maths is wrong. The maths isn't wrong, as in the numbers and the formula. It's what I'm doing. It's the fact that I'm using the times instead of a divide. It's the fact that I'm using simultaneous equations instead of quadratic equations. I'm doing the mistake, right? That's what I'm trying to say. But the numbers, if I've got the formula right,
No.
Okay.
I guess what you're saying is the
Yeah.
tools that you're using can't be wrong because they're the tools. It's what you build with the tools.
if you're using the right tools, yes.
All right, cool. I'm saying the equals, when they quote unquote update the formula, is it because the previous assumption was wrong?
Yeah.
So when I said math can discriminate, it depends on the time in which it is. Okay, go on.
So what I'm trying to say to you is
Because if, in my estimation,
the assumption,
if-
the assumption is wrong.
if the math is the math is the math is the math, it's not supposed to change if it's correct. Yes?
Yeah, but when it's like in your mind, when it's physical, it changes instantly. So, and then I'm not saying he's right. I'm not saying anybody's wrong. Them are speaking to stuff that I can't speak to. It's a different level of intelligence for me. Yeah, but I can understand different thoughts, different train of thoughts, and different opinions, and I can hear people out. And when you are just rubbishing something and saying it's nonsense, my mind, being so inquisitive, says this is something worth stress testing and something worth looking at. You know what I'm trying to say? So when he's saying that 1 times 1 is 1. But that's when it's physical. That's when it's in your mind. So it's proof that you sort of made it up. Because when it's £1 and £1, it's never 1. They're physical. If I put a pound coin here and a pound coin here in time, and I've got 2 pound coins. When it's physical things, it never works. He's saying it's only in your mind. That's why he's saying, like, do you get? I'm not even saying it's right.
He spoke about that.
Yeah, but I'm trying to say it's not even the case of who's being right. But the fact that you ain't prepared to have the conversation and stress test all this stuff and open up your mind to think from different things is what the problem is. And when people sit down in their ignorance and all that, because it's easy to say it's nonsense, yeah. But when you do, like I said, when you put a physical representation, it's supposed to work. Maths is supposed to be maths. It's supposed to be maths. It's supposed to be maths. It's supposed to work everywhere. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
1 times 1 is 1 until you put a pound in. Until it's £1.
Okay.
You get me? Or if it's well, so there's something wrong here, if that makes sense. There's something to be questioned, and obviously there's a theory. You're going to tell me why it's like that because that's the rules that you chose to play with.
It's not. And this.
It's true though. That's the rules that you chose to play with. So if I play
not
by different rules, I'm never going to get to the same answers as you because I've got a different foundation in it. And what the question is who are you to tell me, or who am I to tell you that my foundation is right and yours is wrong after we've been doing it
And this is
for hundreds of thousands of years? That's the argument here.
I understand, and this is why maths is beautiful, because it's not a case of me telling you that it's wrong. It's me showing you it's wrong.
Thank you.
And the maths shows us it's wrong.
Thank you. And that's what I was asking about before. It segued again.
Okay.
In theoretical mathematics,
Yes.
until it's proven, it can stay the same way, right? If it's proven to be wrong, it will need to be changed, right?
Yeah.
Once you decide to use this particular theory that you've theorized,
Yeah.
and you've applied it to this, and it doesn't work, you have to go back to the drawing board.
Yeah.
And that's why I was asking, can it be wrong? And you said, no, it can't be. And I said, yes, it can.
Yeah. But in terms of when you've explained it like that, in terms of the assumptions that because remember the assumptions is dictating the way you put the formula together.
120%.
Yeah,
But
that's what I'm trying to say. The maths itself.
that's why
That's what I was
is a
trying
tool
to.
you're talking about.
Okay, cool.
And in my head, He's then saying, all right, cool. I hear the theory. I hear the formula. But here now is what I have made.
Okay.
Right? So once you've seen what I have made, please let us go and revise our understanding or assumptions based on what I've now shown you. Right? One thing you were talking about was the ether. This was it zero space energy, something like that?
Zero what, sorry?
Zero space energy, where in this space right now, one could pull out such and such, right? And he is suggesting we can. And I am telling you, based on me watching Y-Files, they've been doing it. They're able to basically go away with the whole these energy sources that are mashing up the environment. We have 0 point energy. We have clocked that. And these higher mother effing ups are keeping this technology from us to keep that money train going. Do you understand? That's how it is that they're able to use that type of propulsion system in these flipping UFO crafts that people think are aliens. They're using that technology there, but mainstream science will say, no, it doesn't exist. And that's why it's difficult for me to entertain this conversation, because the conversation we are stuck in is still mainstream locked, where BlackRock, flipping Raytheon, and all these mother effing companies, they've already gone past that. Do you understand? But they're not letting this information into the mainstream consciousness. Do you understand? So we're still focusing on this 1.0 understanding of math and how it's applied. But they've gone past it, 3.0, 5.0. Do you understand? So I can't get stuck here because I already know it's here. I know it's here. Do you understand?
Yeah, I get
so he's trying to get us to get to where this is.
And it's just I think it's just a different mindset. A lot of people have got fairies and pharaohs and stuff like that. And these things are done by like reasoning and by practicing stuff and by, what's the word I'm looking for? Like,
Trial and error. Trial and error? Testing?
yeah, but also like by means of practice, by accepted truths and stuff like that. You get what I'm trying to say? So they got fairies and stuff that they think, because they have conversations in their thing and they do it down here and they do it by accepted truth. So because we all agree that this means this, if you do this and this and this and this and this, then that is that. They don't actually do it, you know. They don't actually prove it, you know. In the fairy, we don't actually have to prove it. It just needs to be done by accepted truths, by what you agree with, what we agree with, what we agree with is right. So then, if you do this and X and you add that relative there, then that is that, and then it's taken as a fact because it's by accepted truths. And the conversation is, this accepted truth that you got, he's saying it's not true. Now, this is where the problem comes from. Because it's accepted by the whole community, everybody's saying you don't know enough to tell us that this ain't true.
Yes.
You're crazy, furthermore.
Yes.
You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
But then when he's telling you why things ain't true and the things that he's using in his arguments, when someone else I don't know, at Joe Rogan saying, okay, well, is the point that he made in his argument true? Yes. So then, there's the rub. There's the rub. There's a discrepancy there. So it's just about perspective and how you want to see things and what you subscribe to, innit? Do you get what I'm trying to say?
I get what you're saying, but it's like everything you said, I don't think paints the situation accurately. So for instance, things are not just accepted as truth, right? The reason why I'm not going to take the time out to
there's theories, Einstein's, these smart people have done it. There's things that they've done that they haven't proven, but they've accepted them as true and as fact.
But this is what I was trying to say to you. When you say they've not been proven, they have been proven.
Because they've had the conversation about it and they've accepted it as true.
No, because the formula, the maths worked, and because you've applied it to everyday life. So for instance, the reason why we know about the distances of stars, the reason why we can talk about the birth of planets and all of these things comes from formulas that, for example, Einstein put forward. The reason why we know about gravity and how it works because of Newton. Like the reason why we know about electromagnetism because of Faraday. These men never had the tools to go and measure these things, right? But when we actually try and make computers, when we try and use turbines to generate electricity, we are proving the theory of Faraday. Do you get what I'm saying? So you can't just say it's just accepted truth. We haven't tried. No, we've tried it. We know it works. We don't spend time talking about it. We just build on it. So when somebody comes along coming and saying, yo, this is all wrong, it gets people frustrated. You're right. And this is what I like about what Eric was saying. Like, he was not only just trying to correct Terrence's language, but also correcting his approach. Come as a student, come and say, look, guys, tell me like what you think about this particular thing. Like I'm thinking about this, rather than saying, yo, you guys are wrong, and this is the new thing, and I'm gonna show you how it's the new thing. And then you start your diatribe, and from the beginning, we're just hearing stuff that we've known about or disputing for 2,000 years. You know what I'm saying? That's where you get the problems. So don't get me wrong. Of course, like you guys have said, as shown in the interview, there's some of the things that Terrence has proven to be right, and him having no formal education in that particular field anyway, has helped him, has been an advantage, but it's also messed up certain things too. And this is why there was times in the conversation where Eric is saying, no, stop talking about that. And he said to him, and this part I did write down, he said to him, you have to be careful about who you talk to, because you will get your ass kicked. This is what he said to him. I'm not too sure if you saw that part, because I think you saw it.
When he's saying,
because it's later in the...
When he was saying stuff like, it's like if I challenge Joe to a fight.
Yes, exactly.
I got him on height and I got him on weight, but he's got skills, he's going to punch me up. He's saying, you don't know when you're in front of a bad man. That's what he's saying. He's saying, listen, I'm a wicked man for you, and I will punch you up in this fight. And you don't know that. You know what I'm trying to say?
It's true.
Yeah.
It's true, 100% true. But Terrence is like, yeah, but I got models. I've gone past where it is that you want to entertain me in this ring.
Even someone said earlier, was it violent in saying that he didn't want to communicate that he's an idiot, but he definitely thought he was sitting down with an idiot for 4 hours.
No, he did.
Do you think a smart man like that would think that and do that?
No.
He had what are they called when you make them up with slides and stuff like that. He had references. He took the time out. He's made up Terrence. He gave Terrence his own equations.
Yeah.
You know what I'm trying to say?
See, that part
to
there.
explain what you're trying to say. Yeah. That means he was saying something.
No,
You ain't listening.
Okay,
he was saying something.
I'm glad you mentioned that, because that's just reminded me. You remember the part where he was talking about the square root of this, if you multiply it by this and divide it by this.
The loop.
The loop. And Eric is saying, like, stop saying it's a loop and stop saying it's wrong. Yes, there are special features about the number 2, but it's still a prime number. It's still this. And this, again, is what causes people to feel some type of way, because, like, we learn about prime numbers and integers in primary school. And then, and I'm not even saying to be disrespectful, right? But when you're when you're saying it's not this, we have an issue. Say that this performs or behaves differently.
That didn't get a thing. That was still that still got challenged. He was saying when you times it and then you divide it, and then you times it by 3 and then you divide it by 2, Then Eric went through maths with him to maths what he knows, and to explain certain things to him, saying you're calling it a loop, it's not a loop, we call it this, we read it.
100%.
My man still came back and still explained what he said, and he's saying,
no, he was right.
Can't you see? No, Terrence still came back and saying, can't you see that that's a contradiction?
I understand.
And Eric said, hey, it's just what we call special.
Yes,
that's what I'm trying to say.
Yes.
So
but
it's still even in that you're not shooting. In my mind, you're not shooting. You're not shooting Terrence down there. They're having a back and forth. He's intellectual enough to hang with him and doing the thing, and he's explaining to him. This is we've rationalized this. We ain't got no answer for this, so we've rationalized it over here. So we can move forward. we can move forward and we can work. We've rationalized it. We've simplified it. And we can so we can move forward. Because if we just stay here, we're not going to move forward.
100%.
And Terrence is saying, brother, can't you see how that's wrong?
No, but you remember, yes, I agree with that. But that's what you do in maths, and that's what you do in science, right? Until something else.
There you go.
Until something else.
There you go.
That makes sense, of course. It has to make sense, whatever. But you have to also remember that some things are just like that. You know what I'm saying?
I'm trying to remember.
That's just the reality.
I'm trying to remember of an example, and I can't think of one. But I'm trying to remember of an example where he absolutely said, "This what you're saying here is gibberish."
He didn't.
And this don't make no sense in no way, shape or form.
And Joe
I'm trying to remember a part where he done that to him, and he didn't. A lot of the thing was, what you think you're saying, you're not saying.
See, if I say what I want to say now, you're not going to say I'm being disingenuous.
Be disingenuous. You love it.
No. Eric didn't want to. Eric didn't want to. He didn't want to. And
he didn't want to make him like a fool on camera.
No.
I don't mind you sharing that opinion. I just want to know why.
it's not
why
okay,
Points
is
when he
it?
was saying you annoy me, you frustrate me, I can't do this, you're spoiling it. He was onto him, he was honest with him and genuine. What do you mean he didn't want to? If there was any point he was doing something that was stupid, that was so idiotic, he would have said it. Because remember, you don't argue with fools and idiots because from a distance people can't tell who's who. This man's got too much cachet and he's too long in the tooth to sit down here next to Terence, yeah, and just accept the bullshit. He was even saying, Joe, you should have pushed back on this, you should have So that's not fair. Okay, be disingenuous.
Hold on a second.
I don't mind you being disingenuous. I just need that elaboration on what you're saying. Because I don't mind changing my mind about things.
What was the initial thing that you said that I disagreed with? That he never
He
Said
never said it was erroneous. None of
Yeah.
it, and you
About
said,
the pie thing when you double it and then divide it. We was talking about that.
yeah, and remember he said to him, because he was talking about the teaching stuff, right? And he's basically
got 2 minutes left in this, yeah?
yeah, 100%. He kept talking about obviously the stuff that Terence observes to be true, and he's like, cool, but then you're making connections that do not exist, and then you go off on that, and then you will mention pi to like the 10th decimal, right? And it makes people gives people confidence in what you're saying, and I'm there thinking this is exactly what he does, and he said, but that's also a trait of what a con man does, right? Like you have to be careful about what you're saying and what you're doing, right? And there was also something else. If you notice, I think it was near the end anyway, the last quarter anyway, Eric refused to talk about something. I can't remember what it was. And the reason why is because why am I going to waste my time talking about it? Let's focus on the good here. Terence, you're doing good here. Let's focus on the good. Because if we talk about the stuff that you're getting wrong, I feel like it will undo the work of this particular conversation.
So I like where we've gotten here because we can wrap this up on this point.
Yeah.
So you said, in your estimation, there is rubbish and there is good,
Yeah.
right? Now, I believe, like I said, every inventor goes through that same process.
Agreed.
What every inventor doesn't have to fight against is people call him a madman. Do you understand? And coming into this, he has been called a madman.
Yeah.
Because he was loud about the things that you are saying he should have kept quiet or not had in his head at all.
I wouldn't phrase
One
it like
times
that, but I
one.
get what you're saying.
1 times 1 equals 2, right? He was loud about that. And this is where I am with Terence.
Okay.
And this is where you are with Kanye West and Candace Owens. There are things that you don't agree with them on. You would say they're wrong on.
Yeah.
But you still have time for them when you believe they're right on certain things.
Yeah.
And now that we've gotten to this point where you are now giving him the grace that you gave Kanye and Candace, I'm fine with that. We can leave it right there.
Yeah, I think that's a nice common ground.
All right.
For us to move forward, yeah, technology, science, all these things are gonna have to change.
100%.
It's gonna have to change, yeah. And we're living and living through a period in history where it's been loads of years since they've been doing all this stuff. This is just scary to people because it's new. Unless the alien race come in, yeah, and give us technology that and stuff and mathematics and science that we don't know, which is gonna be, if it's going to be more advanced and working on different levels, it's going to be the same thing as Terence Howard talking to them kind of thing. Obviously, it's going to be accepted because it comes from aliens, which is cool. And unless we get that breakthrough there, yeah, humans are going to have to do it. And things are going to look totally different to what you know to advance. That's just normal, no?
I'm telling you, humans have already done it. I'm telling you, as we're sitting here talking about this base level, they've already gone past that. And that's why Hitler was even messing about with the bloody occult and this, that, and the next, because he was like, what you guys have accepted as norm? No. We need to push past this to basically do this. So that's why it's for me, it's asinine to be stuck here because there's so much more past that veil that mainstream science has decided they're not going to adopt. Do you understand?
Yeah. All right. Yeah.
All right, headlines.
All right. Let's go through it. No, but I'm glad you said that. Yeah, because I feel like
What did he say?
the
'Cause they didn't hear.
average person. Oh,
I need that repeated.
I said, watching that interview made me realize I have a brilliant mind.
and I honestly I don't think anybody would disagree with that, because even though we may get hung up on the one thing and you want to justify it, I can hear from the way you reason how sharp you are that you have a brilliant mind. you may not have the formal education, right? And that may hinder you in some areas. But if you had it, then nobody will be able to say anything. So some of the issues that Terence may have, you may have, because the language barrier may be there, you know what I'm saying? But no one can doubt how brilliant your mind is. It's impossible. Because we've seen you talk about any subject that comes to the table and be able to navigate with you know what I'm saying, with the level of professionalism. So 100%, I agree.
So can you just read this out?
Izzy Bambino said, "Can't Margs and Brent just share a clip of Eric fully supporting Terence?"
Can you do that, Emmanuel?
Of Eric supporting Terence?
Yes.
Yeah, remember when he was talking about the...
No, I just want you to be able to say you can do that, so we don't have to say that. We do that.
So it's not just us, isn't it?
Yeah, there is.
All right, okay.
There's a bit.
Yeah, there is.
What's this thing called? Not Helix. What's this thing called?
Oh crap! I said it.
The
Linchpin.
Linchpin.
Yeah, linchpin.
Yeah, just find the linchpin clips. He literally called him a genius.
And he said, if this is right, you can probably get drones to do da da da. And then what did Terence say?
I've done it.
I have 19 of those.
And he said,
I have
he said,
19 of them.
He said someone's probably done this before. And Terence said, nope, he hasn't because I own the area. He goes, if you're the first person to do this, yeah, if you're the first person to do this, if you are the first person to do this, you're the man doing it. Terence saying, I am. I got proof of it. He's saying you're a genius.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
You are a brilliant man. And that's what he's saying. Furthermore, fuck everything else that you've done. Let's just take this so people can respect you. Let's just take this. Because you see this hair. This is stellar.
Yes.
That's what he said to him. So
I agree. And that's the part I
he was
like.
pissing on him a little bit because he's saying you're dope in is it geometry?
Geometry, yeah.
Yeah, because he's saying
He
like
said you're dope in the pretty stuff.
yeah, exactly. And then there was bare time he was like, "Ooh, look how cool this is, man! I need to,
Pretty.
This is pretty, man. I need to put this in my yard." I'm saying, "Yo, Mark, he's definitely giving him them sly shots." And I think Terence knew, you know, he's
like
just
that.
saying,
I like that.
he's just like, you know what, cool, man, yeah, man, put it in your yard, playboy, man.
You know,
Like,
this is why I was saying Eric didn't want to say certain things because of that. But anyway,
all right, let's move on.
let's get into the headlines. So, first headline, Labour are on course for a landslide victory today with a majority of 212 seats. This is according to the final YouGov poll projection of the campaign. So this will give Sir Keir Starmer the biggest majority for any single party since 1832 in a vote, which YouGov's last MRP suggests will break a series of electoral records. So some of the biggest names in Conservative politics will lose their seats under this projection, including 16 of the 26 cabinet ministers still standing. This including the Chancellor, Jeremy Hunt. So according to YouGov, Labour are set to win 431 seats, the highest number in the party's history, and passing the previous peak of 419 seats reached by Tony Blair in 1997, making Sir Keir Starmer the most successful Labour leader in history in electoral terms. This is more than double the 202 seats achieved by Jeremy Corbyn's Labour in 2019. Speaking of Jeremy Corbyn, apparently, according to a new poll published with just over 12 hours to go before the polls open, well, obviously this was last night, Jeremy Corbyn could still pull off a shock win in Islington North. So hundreds of supporters flocked to Highbury Fields, where the former Labour leader, who was standing as an independent, held a rally on Wednesday night. It came after a YouGov survey put him on 38% of the vote, just behind Labour's candidate, the local councillor Praful Nagund, who was on 43%. But a pollster said that the 5-point gap meant it was a toss-up who will win. This is a similar finding to a YouGov survey earlier in the election campaign. And the last headline, a public inquiry has heard that undercover police officers compiled numerous secret reports on Diane Abbott while she was campaigning against racism. Abbott, who has been an MP for 37 years, has criticised the activities of the undercover officers as being racist and unjustified. The inquiry was also told that the undercover officers spied on another prominent black politician, Bernie Grant, the legend, after he had been elected to Parliament, claiming that he was making inflammatory and cynical speeches that featured conspiracy theories. Many of the reports refer to Grant's presence at events at which his constituents were campaigning about injustices caused by the police, such as deaths. This is what the inquiry was told. The inquiry, which is being led by the retired judge, Sir John Mitten, is examining the conduct of about 139 undercover officers who spied on more than 1,000 political groups since 1968. And that's it for our headlines.
All right, let's get into what you're saying, topic of the day.
All right, people. Figured it made sense to have topic of the day about today, man, election day. But I wanted to ask you guys, are you guys going to be voting? Because I feel like people are having to think about strategies here, or at least some people believe it's the prudent thing to do, right? Are you voting for the party of choice, right, that you want to see in office, or are you just voting to get the Conservatives out? What's the best thing to do? What's the pros and cons, and what are you going to be doing?
First, start off with who you're going to vote for.
I don't know.
Oh, you still have decided?
Still haven't decided.
Interesting. How about you, Miles? You
decide
said
by
a
the end
hot
of the
take at the
show.
top of the show.
I said I might abstain, man.
And are you still thinking that way?
You know what it is, yeah. I don't want to vote for Keir Starmer, man.
Same.
I proper don't like him. Like I proper don't like him, and I feel like we're just gonna just get hoodwinked, man. We're gonna get duped. Everyone's calling them Tory, like it's for real, man. Obviously, it's a fucked up situation we're in, man. They're gonna do us over, innit? Do you get what I'm saying? Like they're gonna do us over. I don't know what the basis of my thoughts are, but this is just what I just feel like. I just don't trust them.
Yeah.
They're gonna do a lot of things that we don't agree with. There's going to be a lot of moaning within the first 12 to 18 months about the decisions that they're making. You get what I'm trying to say? A lot of the stuff that they're doing, they want to keep the same as the Tories anyway. You know, like their stance on just world issues and things. Just everything about them is just really. I ain't got time in the way they dealt with Diane. Everything. I just don't want to vote for them. And I don't want to waste my. Well, if I abstain, that is a waste of a vote anyway. But I don't want to put it to. I don't want to go right there. I don't know nothing about Green Party and Lib Dems to go that way anyway. Should I just go reform for banter?
So I learned this morning that reform has a 5-year plan.
A good one.
No,
Oh, okay.
Depending who you talk to.
depends on who you talk to. But I'm talking. They don't plan to win the seats that would represent an opposition.
Yeah.
At least he doesn't think they could achieve that
Right
this
now.
time around.
Yeah.
But he's going to start on a campaign of, is it populism?
Probably.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
Over the next 4 years.
You probably started that already.
And
Okay.
yeah, 100% he started.
You're saying the next
And
one, that's where
focus-
they're going to make the big hit.
He's going to focus on the youth. And he's going to be saying, hey, a boy is a boy, a girl is a girl. He's going to be saying, hey, you should be hired on merit as opposed to this DEI stuff, right? So, and as I was talking to him this morning, what that means is that he wants to go back to how it was, that systemic mechanism, without saying it, by the way.
Yeah.
Without saying it. And he wants to take Britain back to where it used to be. He had a conversation with Jordan Peterson this morning that I saw, and he was talking about how he loves Britain of old. He loves their history and how it got them to be one of the powerful, most powerful nations in the world. And he wants to return to that, obviously without saying the loud part, the silent part out loud, right? How did you manage to do all of that? And in him focusing on the youth, I believe he has a strong chance to replace Conservatives as the major opposition or the opposition.
Maybe if it was a few decades ago, I get it. But that stuff that he's pushing to the youth, are the youth as you saying the youth ain't as divisive? They're not as racist as they used to be, innit?
It may depend on the city that you go to, man.
Because if you change how the schooling is, what they're being taught in schools and whatnot, because even in the sit down with Jordan, he used the extreme examples. He mentioned the 2 times rapist being put into the female prison and expecting a different outcome.
That was crazy.
Because obviously that particular person said that they were women. Do you understand? And then went on to use the appendage between their legs to basically continue, their wickedness. So he's going to be focusing on those buzz points that he knows full well would do well in clips online. And obviously the racists, because we know there are many hidden racists within the Conservative Party, like bare of them. And he's also, like he said, he's going to be running on a lot of the old conservative ideals. So it's not just the whole woke stuff.
Yeah.
Because the woke stuff is a big thing, and you know it is. That's why the Conservatives have it in their thing.
The wokerati.
Yeah. So he's going to have a quote-unquote mixture of the old Conservatives and full-on skinhead. And I do believe that is mainstay England. So I do believe that if the mainstream media, who are controlled by whatever governing party, don't look to smear him during that time or to get him out of there, because I believe 100% that's what we're going to be seeing, then I do believe there's going to be a hell of a 5-year or 4 to 5 year running.
How important is the leadership? Someone said you're voting for the leader. I mean, you're not voting for the party, not the leader. So
I don't agree with that. I think you're doing the two simultaneously, man. Because the leader is the one who's going to choose his cabinet, the people that's around him that's going to advise him on the direction to go, right? He's going to make sure, to some degree, like everyone's on the same page. The agenda is uniform, and this is what we're going to do. So the leader does matter. Of course, at a local level, in your constituency, all that stuff, I think that, and I was going to say this, that may be a better way to vote for yourself anyway. So at least make yourself feel a bit better at it, especially when you're looking at, obviously, leadership Westminster not being what it should be. But leadership definitely matters, man. Like, we've seen both leaders do certain things. We've seen Rishi, for example. If you're a British person, patriotic, you hate the fact that he left the celebrations early.
the D-Day.
The D-Day celebrations early. Like, it means something. Like, this is why I guess a lot of people who are part of Reform would feel justified in supporting Reform, saying this guy, as an Asian guy, is not really as British as me. Because if he was white, he would know not to do such a thing. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't relate to the same things I do. But then you've got Starmer, who says he's for the working man, and he can't define what the working man is. And this is what something I was going to say. This is one of the reasons why I really struggle with Labour, because of the leadership. Because I feel like it's all a front, it's all fake, and they're going to change up a lot of things in us, 100%. And I'm also worried that with them winning this today, they will probably be in government for the next, I wouldn't be surprised, 10, 15, even 20 years. That's a huge chunk of our lives that's going to be affected by their policies. I wouldn't be surprised if it was the next 10, 15 years, because the Conservatives need to rebuild. And obviously, if we want to start our own party, if we want to maybe move to supporting another party like the Greens, like Ramsey would like, it will take a lot of time for them to really get enough supporters across the country to actually make a real sizable, you know what I'm saying, like battle with the main party. So yeah, man, this is, yeah, it 100% makes a difference, man.
Do you reckon they're in power for the next 2 decades if they win this?
I wouldn't necessarily, 20 years, okay, maybe 20 years is a lot. Yeah, 20 years it's definitely a lot, man. But I wouldn't be surprised if it was 10, 15 years. I wouldn't be surprised, definitely 10 years. I'm seeing that, 2 terms. Because remember, like, you're voting, kind of like right now, I don't think people are voting for Labour because they like Labour. I think because they disliked the Tories. And so if the Tories haven't rebuilt and given the public a reason to vote for them, you're just going to vote for Labour again in the next election. And I don't think Tories can necessarily do that in 5 years' time.
So say it was as bad, say it just got really bad and it was terrible, and all the things that they were saying, the Conservatives saying about Labour is true, that they don't actually have no plan and
And taxes and that.
Everything sky highs and everything goes to pot. But the whole time, Tories are campaigning that, look, we told you we still got our plan here. Could they do 1 term? How bad would it have to get for Labour to have 1 term?
I think everybody would have to say, wait a minute. Last thing we heard from the Tories was that Rishi was saying he wasn't going to increase taxes. He brought down inflation. He was trying to sort out the borders. And now, 5 years later, inflation's back up. it's more expensive for me to do X, Y, and Z. The numbers for immigration have not declined since Starmer has come into power. And then you would need Farage highlighting all of these things to the public. It would have to be, like, the decline has to keep going, basically. You know what I'm saying? There has to be a reversal of certain things that we've come to accept from the Tories, but not fully forgiven them for because they've not corrected everything. That's what I think. And I just, either way, I still feel like people have just had enough of Tories because it's down to the Tories to rebuild. If they can't rebuild in 5 years' time, then Labour's going to win again. Just like right now. I don't think people really want Starmer in power. They just don't want the Tories in power. That's why I asked the question, like, are you voting for the party that you actually want in power or just voting to get the Conservatives out?
I think that's what majority of people are going to be doing with their votes, isn't it?
This is it.
It's going to be because they have to answer for their crimes, man.
But is that the best way to think about this, though? Is it really the best way? If, for example, I've been bad to you for the next for the last 14 years, and somebody's going to take my place, and like you can tell that this particular person doesn't have the capacity to actually do my job better than me, but because you dislike me because of the last 14 years, you're just going to say, no, I need to get rid of you. Does that really make sense?
It can't be ground for punishment like that, man. And then that means you deserve anything that happens to you, you know. You know what I'm trying to say? Sympathy and everything that go out the window. If you had the opportunity to make the change that the country is dying for, and you don't take it.
Yeah.
Yeah, something has to give.
But that's if you believe the opportunity is there. Like, do you believe that Starmer's going to change things? Like, you guys are obviously talking about them being Tory light. Yeah. Like, does that kind of mean more of the same? You know what I'm saying? Like, what's different? What's actually going to be different? Because to me, when I'm stepping back and I'm looking at this, putting the fact that I think Starmer isn't the greatest leader of all time, right? I've obviously criticised him for the last year now, time and time again. So I don't really want to go into that again. But him being Tory light plus increasing our taxes. I know he's saying he won't do, but I feel like he will. Just like Sadiq Khan said, he won't do certain things. He's now opened up congestion charge. They will lie to us, and I think it will be worse. But anyway,
I think there are many things that will be different, and there are many things that will stay the same.
Okay.
What examples do you want from?
I want the stuff that will be different.
Different. I believe that you are going to see a push with the woke agenda.
From the Labour Party or from the public?
Labour Party.
Okay, cool.
Because it's not what you're talking about if Labour comes to power.
No, but I was trying to clarify that it's not going to be in response to Labour being in. That push from the woke thingy. But okay, I get what you're saying.
No, what do you mean? I want to answer the question you asked.
When you said there's going to be a push for the woke stuff, right? I was just trying to clarify that you don't mean it's going to be from the public as a response to Labour being in power to push more woke stuff. You know what I'm saying?
When you said in the first place, what do you think is going to be different? Because you guys call it Tory light. What do you think is going to be different? It's not a question that you asked me. So this is what I'm asking. Am I not answering that question?
There you are.
All right, cool. So I believe there's going to be no pushback. It's only going to be woke agenda galore because that's what we've been seeing from Labour, right?
Okay.
Am I incorrect or not?
No, I'm processing what you're
Conservatives
saying.
have been pushing against it.
Okay.
Am I correct or am I not?
Yeah. Are you talking about specifically like sex and gender and that sort of stuff?
120%.
Okay, cool. Yeah. Sunak was clear about saying, with regards to the NHS, we're operating by sex, male and female. That's it.
What is going to be different is that is not going to be a pushback coming from the speaker box.
Cool.
Right? That's a big thing. Secondly, I don't think you're going to hear any of these elected officials coming on air in front of no mic looking to call homeless people choice makers.
Of course, 100%.
I don't think that's happening. I don't think you're going to be seeing the incendiary language against certain communities. Their racism is going to be quiet, really quiet. As we've seen with Diane Abbott, right? What will stay the same is the subtle racism.
Okay.
What will stay the same is not the racism, the subtle subjugation of the black man. Right? And that's if that black man doesn't go along with what they need to go along with. You need to toe the party line. If you're not, then you're out. Right?
Yep.
So it's not going to be overtly racist. It's not going to be overtly anti-black, but it'll be subtle. It'll be, you have decided that you're going to be talking about Save Palestine or Free Palestine. You're out of there. And we will trump up so many different charges on you. We'll manufacture it if it is what we want to.
Yep.
And then run that. What will be the same? The business approach. The bankers and the deals with Ukraine and Israel. That's going to be the same. And that's going to inform a lot of the economics.
Okay.
And I guess that's why I say it's Tory light. Right? You're not going to see much change over there. Again, it's because of who's patronizing them.
But won't it be a bit harsher for the businessmen? Because they want to increase windfall taxes. They want to start up the Great Britain Energy. They want to do certain things.
That's good, isn't it?
What, in my opinion? Or you mean, like, good in what way?
For
the country?
For the people who want to believe that Labour is different from the Conservatives.
Yeah, 100%.
So that's a good thing.
I mean, for those people that believe that,
But for you, it's not a good thing because it doesn't make any economic sense.
I mean, it may do, because obviously some of these companies have been terrible. Like, we've seen how much we're getting charged by these gas companies, even the water companies now, and what they've been doing. So if the government can put in, I guess, something that's owned by the people, that would be better than that, then fantastic. Generally, though, I just don't believe that's typically the case, because you need competition in a particular market. But if they could do a better job, then 100% it's better. We just have to remember that we're going to pay for it.
Okay, fair. How else is it going to be different? I think that we're not going to see. You're not going to see any sort of conscription type of policy.
Definitely.
At all.
Go on.
But we may be forced to enter warlike interactions, whereas traditional Labour wouldn't look to entertain that.
What do you mean by that?
Because of who's patronizing them.
All right. Okay.
We'll be forced to take certain stances on eco-political matters also, I believe.
Okay. I want to ask you something. If you finished.
I finished.
Cool. I want to ask you both something, yeah? What do you think of the idea that Starmer is potentially more left than Corbyn? That he's just masquerading as Tory light?
Because he was a human rights lawyer?
Yeah, and because his upbringing, university days, he was like a like a proper leftist.
He probably was, but he changed, didn't it?
Yeah.
Perception.
Has he?
Optics.
You say it's perception.
Optics.
It's optics. So he hasn't really changed. He's pretending to lean right.
Yeah.
I believe there may be an argument there because he realized how Labour was seen because they dirtied up Corbyn. They put a whole lot of shit on Corbyn's jacket.
For sure.
And off the back of that, the entire operation would have been seen as that particular dirt that they put on his jacket. So he needed to do something to change the optics or perception of Labour completely. And in doing that, he would need to lean more centre or more right of centre. A little bit. not right center, center. I'll say center. I'll say center.
Okay.
In order to basically, get some of the people that wanted something else to now come back over here. But I believe the woke conversation, no, that's the thing that might fail them in the long run. I believe that is bigger than austerity. And it's stupid, right? It's very stupid for that to be the case. But I believe that is going to be the thing. I believe so.
Okay. Maz, what do you think? Do you think Starmer is just he's more left than Corbyn? Do you think he's kind of just acting?
No, I don't think he's acting. He might have been more left in his younger days, but I think life's got to him. You get me? Them lofty heights that he's looking for, and I think the circles that he's around. Like, I think he's changed. I think he is what the people say he is. I think he's definitely Tory. Like, that's what it just seems to me. That's how it comes across to me. Why would he be pretending? He's not pretending.
Okay.
Because what would he get out of it? What's the point? To what end? Pretending to what end?
To get into power and then change it in the way you want it to be.
Yeah, but the people would prefer if he was more left-leaning, I suppose, anyway, innit?
No, but he needed the trust of the industries, the business class.
Trojan horse thing, yeah?
Yeah, definitely.
What, you believe that?
They needed to have confidence in him. Even the son coming out to say, "Yep, we back." Care. That's not regular.
That's true.
Hold up.
We got a caller?
Morning, Ramsey.
Yo,
what are your thoughts?
Green Party, go green.
come on, now what I was gonna say is it's just come to my attention. Emmanuel, you remember we were all cosplaying the other day, yeah, as different leaders of the parties.
Yeah.
And I asked Emmanuel, as the leader of his favorite party, how they were funding their manifesto.
Yes.
Yeah. What did Emmanuel say?
I might need a manual for this bit.
Yeah. He was trying.
Oh, he's not there.
He was trying. give him a second. He's peeing.
Oh man, I don't know.
That's
All right. So let me ask you the questions
Do you
then.
remember what he said? Just tell us.
Yeah, it was nonsense. He was chatting shit. He had nothing to say because they didn't release how they were doing it because they weren't putting up taxes, right? Because they promised not to put taxes up. So I want to pose a question to both you, Margs, and Brent while Emmanuel's hiding. If it was private investment that Labour were getting, say from a company like BlackRock, is that going to be good or bad for our economy and our country?
If their donors was BlackRock?
Not donors, their investment was from BlackRock. So it was private investment. Which, as we know, have links to Zionist agendas, Israel, all of that. And we know what's happening with all of that. What's your initial thoughts? So they're investing it. Obviously, no one does anything for free. So they're having a hand in how our economy is running, our public sectors, the NHS, transportation, all of that.
Is this hypothetical? Have you found out that this is what's going on?
This is exactly what's going on. I just found out. So Labour's manifesto, they're getting it through private investment through BlackRock, which obviously means that they're going to push for a lot more privatization within public sectors. Which, up to me, I find extremely important. And obviously, if I knew that on Tuesday, I would have said that because it's not going to bode well. Obviously, if you've got a big business, a big conglomerate such as BlackRock putting their hand into and bear in mind, BlackRock's going to get their investment recouped probably tenfold through taxpayers' money. So they're getting paid by our money. Yeah, our taxes aren't going up, but we're going to see a lot more privatization. That's what it's looking like. That's what the hypothesis is.
E-Man loves privatization.
Because he doesn't know what he's talking about. Is he back here?
I'm back, Ramsey.
Did you hear what I said?
Some of it. Please tell me again so I can make sense of
All
it.
right, so I've just found out that remember when I asked you how Labour was costed, how are they going to cost for the manifesto? You said it's not by putting up tax.
Yeah.
So it's just come out that they either have seeked or are seeking or have seeked private investment from BlackRock.
Okay.
I posted it on the Discord in the instant reaction for anyone who wants to see it via the Guardian. So obviously, you know what that means. It means that they're going to push, or they're either going to push for or looking for investment within the public sectors, which means they're going to privatize it.
Hold on a second. I'm just
So all
trying.
of that.
Sorry, go on.
Go on.
No, go on.
No, I was just going to say, all of that summed up with the fact that Keir Starmer's a dickhead and he's moving mad. And everything that we're seeing from the Labour Party is veering so far from the left. Even if you're not really a lefty, you still want to keep the public sectors. We still want to renationalise our Big Five, all of that shit. It's just showing that we're going to see so much fucked up shit from Labour in the next 5 years. And I don't think I agree with you, E-Man. I don't think they're going to run for 2 terms. I think with how they're getting their money, as well as the fact that they're inheriting all of the all of the problems that the Tories have left and haven't sorted out on purpose just to paint the Labours out to be even worse. I think all of that muddled up with the fact that Keir lies, I don't see them lasting for 2 terms. And another thing that I found out recently that's kind of clicked in my brain is that the media is run essentially more often than not through the far right. And the far right have been peddling Nigel Farage's ideology for a long time. They'd rather peddle someone like Nigel Farage because someone like Nigel Farage would ultimately, if he was to get into power, would help peddle the 1%ers and the big businesses. So they'd rather peddle someone as powerful as Nigel Farage, who, bear in mind, virtually has no power, as opposed to Carla Denyer from the Green Party, who was an MP and who has been speaking a lot in Parliament because she wouldn't side with the 1%ers. Am I making sense?
You've gone into different things, isn't it? So I'm trying to.
No, I'm just saying. I just said it was. I was just basically painting a picture
of what could happen.
Or why I think Labour won't last for 2 terms.
Yeah, you have to recognize.
I can summarise it again.
Yeah, summarize it again. But what I was going to say is you have to recognize that people have to actually see what you're saying. You know what I'm saying? Like,
that's fine.
If they don't see it, then he'll be there for the 2nd term.
I think they will. So let me summarize it again because I kind of waffled. So first problem is the fact that we're getting private investment. That's already come out. That's already in the news. So we're going to see all of our public sectors aren't going to get no funding because they've already inherited Tories' fiscal idea in which they're not going to pump any more money into anywhere in the UK.
So is this an assumption? Because why do you think that?
No. This is what Rachel Reeves said. She said we're not gonna issue out any more money. Rachel Reeves said we're gonna inherit the Tories' fiscal idea of the country. She already said that.
More money doesn't mean I'm not going to give you a pound. It means we're not going to allocate more from the budget than what is allocated now. Do you get what I'm saying?
Oh yeah. Well, yeah, but then that doesn't really take away from the fact that there isn't money going into anything. So there's no money going to NHS. That's why they're striking.
No,
there isn't money going to the councils.
No, the money's going there still. It's just not going to be any more than what's going there.
But it isn't enough to fund what they need to fund. This is what I'm saying. This is why we've dealt with austerity for 14 years. Money's going in, but nowhere near as much. That's the point. So Labour have already said they're not going to fund more. Whatever you want to battle semantics, it still isn't working for what's happening right now.
All right, go on.
So, cool. Oh, you fucked me up, man. You fucked my rounds on a roll, bro.
I'm just trying to... Yeah. Should I just let you finish and then I poke holes or poke holes as you go?
I got please. Attempt it.
So the first one is basically what I said already. It doesn't mean there's no money going into it. Like, let's keep the budget the same potentially, and then we can find money in other areas to do what we need to do for other things that need fixing. You know what I'm saying? For example, they want to fund the whole Great Britain energy, right? Long term, they're hoping that, you know, the average person will be able to save money on their bills because it will be from the state. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, you're going to need more money to actually start it, though. And this is what happens when you want the state to be involved in certain things. You need to find the money from somewhere. You know what I'm saying? So
which they've just come out and said it would be through privatization, through private investment.
Yeah, so if it comes from private investment, it doesn't mean that the actual thing will be privatized. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, it just means the money is coming from a private source. So we could potentially build.
But there'll be investors with stake within the country. So people are putting money not to recoup.
Yeah, but that's what happens now and has always been the case. You've always got people who fund your party, fund your campaign, and when you get in power, ask for favors.
No. You're talking about donors.
Yeah, I know.
Donors putting money in for favors is very different to a business investing private investment to a country that's going to recoup their money.
100%. But
donating and investing are two separate things.
100%. But the parallel is there. What I'm trying to say is, I'm going to give you money. I'm going to give you money. You're going to build what you're building, and I'm going to take profits from it. Right? That's what you're saying.
No, well, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, with private investment, but exactly. you're that. But hold on, what's the word you like to say a lot? With that big, what's the word? You're conflating the two.
I'm not at all.
You're conflating. You're conflating donation and private investment.
I'm not conflating. I'm drawing a parallel. I know they're completely two different things. I'm trying to say to you that this always happens. That's what I'm trying to say to you. It may be more than usual.
With one where the taxpayers are genuinely losing money. The other one, when they're donating, it's a wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Here's a favor. That's why you usually see billionaires side with the party that's most likely to win. That's why Tories' donors has dropped significantly, whereas Labour's has risen because they know Tories are going to lose. That's very different. They're just doing shit. So it's like, they're like, boom, let me see a couple tax loopholes, put this through planning permissions. That's not necessarily something that comes at a direct cost from the people. That isn't a direct taxpayer's cost.
But it does. This is what happens when you this is why I speak so much about economics, because this is exactly what happens when you subsidize something. Who pays for it? If I've given you money, Ramsey, right, to get into power, you get into power now, and I tell you, listen, I think the best way to do what you need to do, even though I'm not giving you money to invest, right, in a particular thing like you're saying with BlackRock, if I've just given you money for a campaign, i.e. a donor, whatever it may be, and I'm kind of shaping your politics, if you do certain policies, you may subsidize certain areas. Who's paying for that? We are.
So in that argument with subsidies, so you're basically saying it's since you want to draw parallels, I'll draw another parallel. Isn't that the same as tax? If we're paying for those subsidies, that's initially right. Cool. So what's the problem with taxes then? You don't seem to mind when it's coming from private investment.
No, I have a problem with taxes.
Hold on. When it comes from private investment, we are not only again are we paying for it, so the tax is coming out of taxpayers' money. For their initial manifesto, we're going to be paying fucking double because they're going to privatize all of the public sectors, the initial stuff we got for free. So whereas you're talking about subsidies and they're getting their building and we're paying through taxpayers' money, we're going to be paying fucking triple.
Yeah, but this is what happens when you have a left government. This is what happens when you have a government.
No, it's got nothing to do with being left or right.
Oh, all right then. I'm trying to tell you something that's a fact. This is why I've always said...
you like to say socialists only want to raise taxes, but then we got this guy in Labour right now getting private investment. That's not something a socialist would do, arguably.
What does that result in? You have to look beneath the veil, right? What does it result in? You said it yourself 2 minutes ago. It results in subsidies, which is the same as taxes, because we pay. There's no such thing as a free lunch. Every single thing.
No, that was the donations that you were talking about.
Yes, but
not private investment. Private investment, we not only be paying for that with the taxpayers' money, we'd be paying for it because the stuff that we used to get free, we have to pay for now.
There's nothing that you've gotten free. Nothing.
Oh my days! I swear to God, I don't want to go back to it. But you sound like Terrence Howard.
No. I'm telling you about basic economics. There's nothing that you've
gotten
free.
No, you're not. You're dancing. You're tap dancing everywhere. You're ballerina. You're doing loops and somersaults and that.
All I'm trying to do to you, all I'm trying to do, Ramsey, is basically. What I'm trying to do is basically say to you that as much as you think this is a terrible thing from BlackRock, I agree. Fantastic, right? I'm saying to you, this is just more of the same stuff. And this is what happens when you have so much government intervention. This proves my point from the very beginning. So whether you call it a
I get
subsidy,
that.
whether you call
I
it a
get that.
tax,
I
I'm
get
saying
it.
it's all the same and we pay for it. This is why I also...
I get that.
That's all I'm trying to say.
What I'm saying is, I personally, and I'm safe to say that everyone else would agree, I would rather pay a little bit more tax than pay a little bit more tax, get on with my day, motorbikes, I'm paying a lot of tax, as opposed to paying more tax and paying for stuff that I got for free, i.e. NHS, i.e. Medication for people who are less fortunate than I am, all of that shit.
Oh yeah, of course.
It's a double loss. It's literally a double-edged sword.
I agree with you. Yeah.
And we're handing power. Basically, in a nutshell, we're selling the UK. We're selling it to the person with the highest bid. And that's a dangerous, slippery slope. We start to get into how the USA is run, which everyone can agree is nasty.
I mean, it depends who you talk to. But let me ask you this then. So do you think the idea of Great Britain energy is bad?
What do you mean by that? That's such a broad question.
Yeah, just the idea of it. Them Labour wanting to start that particular project, Great Britain Energy, where it's state owned.
So a nationalized.
Yeah, exactly.
Nationalized. Well, I'm green in this. I would agree with that.
So if the money from BlackRock helps them to establish that, would you still be against it?
Yes, it depends on in which way. If BlackRock came here and then our money subsidized or paid for their business to run so we get cleaner energy without it being essentially privatized, I don't know, then it's fine. But if they're buying up or they're buying labor, then all of our voices doesn't matter. No, it's only going to go to the highest bidder.
But
it should be run. It should be publicly funded and publicly run. If it runs to BlackRock, then it isn't publicly run.
If it's what by BlackRock, sorry? If it's ran by BlackRock?
If it's run by BlackRock, then it isn't publicly owned.
Okay.
I should have said.
Yeah, but this is what I'm trying to say to you. I'm not asking if Great Britain Energy is owned by BlackRock, you know. I'm saying if the money that they invest in is used, some of that money is used for it. Because not all of it will be. But if some of it is, and for example, they own maybe a certain percentage of it so that they can get their money, because obviously it's an investment, right? Is that a bad thing? If you're able to get your energy down long term for cheaper down the line, because to me it speaks to what you want. It speaks to you wanting something that's owned by the state, controlled by the state, right? Where people can get subsidized energy, even though they've got the help from a private investor. Because I'm not saying this is necessarily the case that you're saying, but why is it that you feel as though if BlackRock give, I don't know, $3 billion to Labour, that's going to be changing every public service in the world? Sorry, in the country. Why do you think all of a sudden...
you're conflating. You said the word donate again. Don't conflate the word donate with invest.
Invest. All right, change it to invest. If you think they're going to give them $3 billion to invest in some of the things in this country, why do you think all of a sudden that means there's going to be a privatization of all of these different sectors?
2 reasons.
Yes.
The first one is that when you invest in a company, you recoup your money. Essentially, you own that. So if they invest,
you own a part.
Hold on. If they invest wholly or solely towards Labour's manifesto and their fiscal budget, that means they own it. That means they can basically say how they want shit to run. They're saying, wait, hold on, we want this and you're going to do that. You know why? Because you're using my money.
Yeah,
that's why I have an issue with invest. No. Well, it doesn't matter. They're still going to want a cut, their share, even if we were to give 50%, 45%. That 45%, 30%, 20%, whatever you want to say, that's a fucking large majority, bruv.
But without
it to go to a private equity.
Fine. But I guess the counter argument is without it, you don't have no Great Britain energy. Do you get what I'm saying?
We would if people were happy and it wasn't this big fucking scary monster of paying more taxes.
That's because you're not deep in how much tax you would have to pay for it.
I get what you're saying 100%. I get what you're saying in regards to you're thinking about such in a black and white economic way that you're like, if we want things done better, why aren't we paying people to get it done better? It motivates innovation. It motivates all of that. 100% in theory, what you're saying, I get. The issue is as we've seen in history, whenever anything is privatized, quality dips because profit becomes the main objective.
That is 100%. Let me reiterate again. 100%
Oh
false.
my God.
That's the
Oh
most
my God.
ridiculous thing I've heard in my life.
Avanti West Coast, Thames Water, all of the shit that's getting dumped into the river, all of that is private companies who are recouping in dividends and they don't care about the end products. What are you talking about?
The fact that I'm talking through this microphone, the fact that I have an iPad, the fact that I'm looking at the camera, the fact that you're talking to me, the fact that you have an iPhone, the fact that we have all these type of things. Tell me where the quality of innovation has been in the bin. Tell me.
Again, you're talking broadly.
No, you have to
you're saying no.
Let me tell you the reason why. Let me tell you. Let me correct you on this. The reason why the private industry is terrible in this country or operating poorly is because of nepotism, not because of privatization, because of nepotism. Because people stand to gain something. If you took that away, you took the corruption away, and you allowed a free market where people competed, there's no reason why things will dip to the floor. For you to say
that's what happened. That's what happened with the railway. We're talking about.
Wait. It didn't happen with the railway. Do you know what happened with the British Railway in the 80s? The reason why it was...
I'm talking about Virgin. When Virgin was sold to the highest bidder, Avanti took over, and Avanti shit.
You're starting
because they sold it to the highest bidder.
Yeah, but you're starting at October 7th. You need to go back. You need to go back.
Oh my days!
That's what you're doing. That's what you're doing.
No, hold on. I'll tell you what you're doing. You're conflating a normal business such as Apple, yeah, who isn't involved in the public sector, fam. They're doing what they need to do to survive. Hold on.
They're not involved in the public sector.
I beg you, let me finish.
Go on.
You're conflating their business who need to take a huge chunk of the market share in technology, whether it be telecoms, whatever. They need to do what they need to do to be innovative, as opposed to someone taking over a public sector, trying to get as much done with as minimal resources with as maximum profits. They're two different things. You're talking about a business being a business. I'm talking about businesses running public sectors.
Ramsey, it's the same principle. If a business runs a public sector, there will be competition if it's done correctly, if there's a free market. If you've got a situation where you remove competition, you have a monopoly. There is no competition. You might as well have just it being state-owned. You know what I'm saying? If you open up the free market so people can choose, a business, like you rightly said, will always try and opt for the best way to make profits. So what they will recognize is they're not going to be saved by the government, right? They're also not going to be put in position by the government. They need to work on their product, their customer service, because we are the only ones that choose. If we don't buy from them, they make no money. So they incentivize to give us a good product, to lower prices. That's what will happen. So I'm basically saying to you, it's not a case of privatization being a bad thing. It's a case of how it's rolled out. This is why I said to you the other time you came here, when I said to you, the Tories are not as capitalist as you think they are. Because if they were, they would facilitate that. They are very central. You know what I'm saying? They're right center. And because of that, there's a lot of overlap. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, I don't want us to be talking about this for too long, but I'm trying to make that distinction so you recognize the issue isn't with privatization. You need competition. You need to have people be able to make a choice. But when it's state-owned, there is no choice to make. There is no choice to make. Every floor is something that we pay for. Every floor that we pay for directly. Even if I don't even want to use the service, I pay for it. That's a problem. Do you get what I'm saying? On top of that,
so 2 questions. Can I pose 2 questions?
Yeah, go on.
So what our initial debate before we wrap it up is you're saying just because it's privately invested, it doesn't inherently mean it's bad.
Yeah, because I'll need to know more details in it, because I don't necessarily think it means 100% that this is going to be a bad thing, because it may allow the government to create things that I guess the public need. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't necessarily think that if they give us money, or to give Labour Party money, invest the money, I should say, that it means they're going to have total ownership of a thing. You know what I'm saying? Okay,
we'll not total ownership, but part ownership. Definitely more ownership than the public has, but we'll agree to disagree on that.
All right.
But the second thing I want to say to you is, you said all right, let me not assume what you're saying.
Yeah.
You don't like paying more taxes, right? Sorry, it's windy. I'm outside. You don't like paying more taxes, right?
No.
Right. But it sounds like, and this is where my assumption comes from, it sounds like you're happy to pay more for something that we used to get for free if it's done well.
No, I'm happy to not pay no taxes as little as possible.
Not taxes. Something we used to get for free, i.e. the NHS. If the NHS was run slightly better, you'd be happy to pay more of a premium than not, if it's run better. So you're not happy to pay taxes, but you're happy to pay for something that we used to get for free.
No, but so how am I paying for it?
Because it's privatized.
No, but in what means? Is it coming out my payslip or what? Or is it?
No, you have to go. You either have to get insurance or you have to pay. So think of it like dentistry.
Okay, cool.
Say something you used to get for free MRI scan, you now got to pay for it.
I get what you're saying. So basically, what you're asking me is, am I willing to pay extra for a better service?
Yeah, essentially.
Of course, like you are, like everyone.
Pay extra, pay extra or something for something that we used to get for free. That would be better. Let's forget about the margins of how better it is.
Yes, 100%. 100%.
Interesting.
So for example, if you was, and I mean no disrespect to anybody, if you was getting money from getting food from a food bank, right? Then you started working, and you had the means to get better quality food. Are you still going to try and line up for the food at the food bank because you got it for free before? No.
That's a good scenario.
You definitely won't. There's
That's
nothing.
not the same. I feel like that's a false equivalency.
It really isn't. It really isn't. You got something for free, and now
If it's
someone's
too windy,
giving
let
you
me
an
know,
option. Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. You got something for free. You now have the opportunity to get something else that you have to pay for, but the quality is far better. The customer service is far better. You enjoy it more. This is literally what happens every single day. The reason why you wear the clothes you wear is because you care about something that comes with that feeling. You know what I'm saying? The quality of the fabrics. How you know what I'm saying? Like, it's better. It's better. If we were in a situation where the government was giving us money to buy our clothes and you still had the money you had today, you would not opt for the free clothes. You would opt for what you wear now because it looks good. It makes you feel good. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing wrong with paying for something that you like. Every single person does it. Every single person does it. You have to see it that same way. But there is something wrong
when the thing that we were getting for free was getting run poorly due to poor decisions from the government, which
I wouldn't disagree with you.
It's happening.
I wouldn't disagree with you.
So personally, just towards you, would you rather pay more taxes or pay for a service?
Pay for a service, 100%.
Fucking hell.
100%.
Is that because they're not using our taxes properly?
Yes. And they never will be able to.
So is it that? So given that it's because they're misusing it, if they didn't misuse it, would you want privatization?
If the quality of the service was good enough, and I didn't feel like I needed to pay extra for the privatization, then of course I'll stick with that.
You're paying twice right now, aren't you?
Yeah, essentially that's what will happen.
No, right now you're paying twice. If it is you will go for privatization. You will go for
yeah, you would, yeah.
As in you are.
I'm not doing that now, but
so you don't have private healthcare?
No, I don't.
Okay.
No.
Okay, cool.
But yeah.
Is someone trying to call in?
Yes.
Yeah.
I would
call in, fuck off.
No, thank you very much for your contribution.
Thanks, man.
Thank you.
Also, just to let you know, I just came out of polling station. You and I voted green. Come on, Mark, get your ass in there, man. Just put a tick on the green, man. It's not gonna kill you, bro. It's not that deep, man. Just put X on the green and then just bop out. That's it, done. You like green, you like weed. Let's do this. Let's get running it.
I voted green. Come on.
All right. Love.
Thanks, man.
I'd prefer to pay once, and I'd prefer to have them use the money properly.
100%.
And then there wouldn't be any need for privatization.
100%. The problem is you're now relying, again, this goes into more of the economic philosophy, but you're now relying on the government to make the best decisions for you. Yeah. You're now basically saying, you know how to use my money better than I do.
I'm aware. And like I said, I'd rather hold the government to task than what you're suggesting.
The problem is, it never happens where a government can spend my money, your money better than you do. It just doesn't happen.
Good morning.
Hi, good morning.
All right.
Is that Tariq? Is that Tariq?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what we say, man. Long time.
I'm all right, man. I'm all right. Yes, long time, man. I'm no longer in the UK, and so it's hard to catch the show live all the time. Yeah.
Where you
But
based
what are
out
you
of?
saying though? Today, Doha. Well, Doha and Casablanca. So Morocco and Qatar for the foreseeable future. But yeah, man. By the way, your last analogy about the food banks, yeah, that doesn't work. But we're not going to argue about like socialism and privatization.
All right, but
today.
Drake,
We're not going to do that.
So, sorry to stop you.
Yeah.
If it's wrong, you got to tell me why it's wrong.
No, so of course, like if somebody can afford food, they're not going to be going to a food bank.
That's it.
But
that's the only point I'm making. Because
because
he's asking me.
But
yeah, go on.
Yeah, but that analogy doesn't work, yeah, because if you're saying like we need to have lower taxes so we can afford to pay for things, that's never going to happen because some of the things, the publicly owned things, so it's like the NHS, etc. Like if you can afford to have a private healthcare, of course you can. Yeah. But for what it stands for as a like a public body, of course we have to put a lot of money into it. And if that was to go today, or a lot of it was to be privatized, like it has been, like bit by bit, there's gonna be majority of the people that are not gonna be able to afford certain things, and this is the problem you get. Like, I mean, just. Look at America, for example. Yeah. Like a lot of people, like they don't even call the ambulances. They they have issues. Some people have like prescriptions for like insulin and stuff like that. But because they can't afford to buy them, as in when they need them, they go days without having it. So you'll have a lot more problems. Like you'll have a lot more health issues than that. But obviously, a publicly owned something, that's like you have to like tax people. And to be honest, like, you know, the whole I know today is like election day, and I know everybody, like, as soon as they hear Labour, it's like, oh, they're going to be taxing us. Whether we like it or not, taxes is going to go up. I mean, in the last budget, they said as much. And this whole thing about like Labour, only Labour, like raising taxes here does not work anymore, because the Conservatives have been in charge for the last 14 years. We have highest tax burden for 70 years. You cannot tell me that like that taxes hasn't been going up. Tax is going to go up. I know Keir Starmer is not saying much, but it is going to go up.
100%.
Yes, they have to make decisions in terms of like where to spend certain things. But like, I think the energy bit, I think that's a good idea. Yes, privatized energy will have, like, obviously there's going to be like more competition, etc. Yeah, but they have a monopoly on it at the minute.
Precisely.
Like in the UK, think about it. So
exactly what I'm saying.
Yeah. So if we nationalize it, we get more power back, don't we?
But who's the we?
Like,
who's the we?
Because then, like, I did, like the people, like
realistically,
us, like
realistically,
the consumers.
Tariq, who is the we realistically?
Yeah. Well, us. Well, yeah, us. Like
is it really us?
If like Great British Energy, is cheaper than British Gas or EDF, I am not going to be going to EDF. Like, I mean, you know what I mean? We're not going to be doing that. But obviously, for them to, that's going to be a big thing for them to do in the next 5 years. Yeah. But we'll see. If I'm honest with you, I heard the best analogy the other day. Voting for Labour is like changing your shirt when you shut your pants. And honestly, I know. I know, like, I'm more to the left of Keir Starmer, but honestly, by any means necessary, just get the Tories out. Even you cannot support them right now. The Tories have not been they're not the party like that. I think your political ideology would be a more Margaret Thatcher. That's been years ago. It hasn't been the same. Yeah. Yes, they're more to the centre now, but they're also dabble with like a bit of like right wing populist things. What I think is going to happen now is the Conservative Party as we know it, I think, is finished.
Yeah. Agreed.
If they get
if they get less than 100 seats, and I think like most polls puts them like anywhere as low as like 64 and as high as like 122, I think. If they get less than 100 seats, what's going to happen is like a massive civil war, which is probably going to take about another year or two.
Yep.
If Farage gets a seat, which he's going to win, I think they're going to get like 2 seats. If he gets that seat, he wants to be the leader of the Conservative Party. So I do not put it past him, to cross the floor as soon as like the infighting starts, and then the whole right wing of the party is going to welcome him in, and then he wants to like run for PM, I think, in 2029. But yeah, I feel like we're having this conversation, and it's like it's depressing. Like I would love to be here right now, and be like, these are the reasons why you need to vote for Labour. I cannot give you more than 2. Do you know what I mean? Yes. So everybody go out there, vote. I mean, I voted Lib Dems because they had like, well, they're gonna win like my seat.
Okay.
But yeah, everybody just vote tactically. Lib Dems, like I voted for them in 2010. Still hurts me. It hurt me to like have voted for them again. Yeah, but just go out and vote, man. And like I know a lot of people are like, yeah, but it's just my vote. Like, what's that gonna do? They reckon about 38% of the people eligible to vote are not even gonna bother voting. Like, so
This is crazy.
you know what I mean? Like, if you agree with like the Greens, go and vote Green. If you agree with conservative, I've got nothing for you. But yeah, just go out and vote, man.
Yeah, fully agree with you, man. I feel like we're saying like some of the same stuff, man. I feel like we're both obviously fed up with the Tories and obviously with Labour as well, innit? And this is another thing I want.
I know, Labour.
Go on.
With Labour, like they are not saying anything, and I know I've heard and like I've read quite a bit of things about, is he going to be actually coming out with more left wing socialist like policies when he gets into power? I don't think he will. I mean, having like something you stand for, like where there will be like, because obviously someone like me, I don't think I'll ever be like voted in. I don't even think I'll ever win a seat. Never mind like be a PM, because I will stick by my ideology. Do you know what I mean? To a fault, yes. But someone like Starmer now, like he doesn't have like a lot of people when they look at him, they're saying it was people that are not into politics. They look at him and think, I can't vote for him. He's like, there's nothing about him. And I think it works for what's happening now, because I reckon a lot of people will vote for him as well, because they don't want to vote for Tories. And even if their vote collapses now, I reckon Labour are not going to get as much support next time around. Do you know what I mean? So we'll see, man. But I'm going to stay up tonight anyways. I want to see as many like cabinet people losing their seat as well, like starting with Hunt.
Yeah, innit?
They reckon he's going to lose his seat as well, but yeah, man. Like, I didn't call in today to argue with you because I feel like we're both fed up, innit? But
yeah, man, 100%. We are.
I thought like I'll just get it up there, like everyone just go out and vote, man. Even if you spoil your ballot, even if you vote Green, just don't vote Reform, obviously. But yeah.
Yeah, for real. Appreciate that, Tariq, man.
Thanks for calling in.
Bless, man. Take care.
All right.
Prish says, E-Man speaks for people who have money. Most people in this country cannot afford to pay for services like healthcare.
Big up, Prish, man. Thank you for the comment.
A very fair comment.
Do you know what the thing is, though? You have to understand my economic school of thought, yeah? It's more so that if we lower the taxes in many of the areas where the money's being squandered, you would have the money to pay for healthcare. Do you get what I'm saying? Plus, on top of that, you would have more competition if you opened up the markets. So you can't necessarily look at it with the same circumstances. It doesn't work that way. Granted, like I said to you before, I think I said the same thing to you guys before. Went to the doctor one time, asked him about something, and then he was like, you know what? This is not something you can do typically on the NHS. Like, you need to go to private and all that stuff, right? I said, okay, cool, but that's a lot of money. He said to me, yeah, but you sitting here talking to me is a lot of money. It's the same thing. You're just not paying for it. At that moment, I started to think to myself, this is crazy. And I started to value my GP appointments a lot more. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, why am I spending potentially £200 of taxpayers' money to go and speak to the guy about something where he's going to tell me, well, it's just the flu or the cold? I'm just giving a general example here. And many people don't understand that that's what's happening right now. But if it's private, sometimes you question the reason why you go, because you're paying for it. You understand the value of money. And what happens is, that's just one small example, but that's what happens. And people don't understand how much money is being pumped in the NHS and how much we're squandering the money in other areas as well. Again, some people will see me as not even like a proper capitalist, because I believe there's a lot of value in the NHS. I believe we should have an NHS, right? But I just believe many other things need to have competition. You can't have competition with nepotism. It defeats the purpose. You need to have a real open free market where people are allowed to come into the market and compete for the public's money, basically. And I think then you get better services and things will be cheaper as well. It's just like anything else in economics, you know what I'm saying, in the market. So, yeah.
Danny Walshy says, like I said before, if someone or party has been in power for the last 12 years plus and the country is still broken, then a change allows somebody else the chance to try and fix the problems that we have. It's fair enough.
Yeah, I agree with you. But do you know what it is? Sometimes you look at the alternative and you think, oh my goodness, I'd rather just stick with what I have. You know what I'm saying? That's just what happens in life sometimes, isn't it? But I agree, it's time for the Tories to go. But I'm just, like Tariq said, it's depressing thinking that Labour are going to be the ones that are going to come in. And the reason why I just harp on about taxes, because you have to recognise that every single change that you're going to see in the government is you paying for it. And I think people don't always allow that to register. People feel like, yeah, of course, I know, it's coming from my tax, but you need to really understand how you're paying for it. Inflation, you're paying for it, you're paying it by your tax and all them type of things there. You have to listen to what they're saying as well. Keir Starmer the other day was questioned about taxes, right? And even, obviously, I never mentioned it the day we had the debate because I'm meant to be pro-Labour. But I was saying they're not looking to increase taxes. No income tax, no national insurance, and there was something else for working people. Then he was asked, what do you consider working people? Again, remember he struggled with working class the other day as well. He said that working people are people who earn a living, rely on our services, and don't have the ability to write a check when they get into trouble. That's working people. People who earn a living, rely on the services, the public services, and don't have the ability to write a check when they get into trouble. So that means if you have any sort of savings, right, that you can draw from, potentially he's not talking about you. He's talking about working. You know what I'm saying? Like people who really don't have funds like that. So everybody else is susceptible to potential tax increases. People need to recognize what that means. You know what I'm saying? Like, we potentially could be paying for the same sort of service, but for like more money. It doesn't make sense.
Fina says, if you want to know how private healthcare will affect the public, ask people how often they go to the dentist.
I mean, that's a fair point. It's a fair point, man.
Izzy Mabino saying, I'm not voting Conservative, but there is a logic to voting for the best capable party going forward, regardless of the history.
Don't agree with that.
So you don't agree with it?
Regardless of the history?
Yeah, if they're better than the alternative, I understand what you're saying. If it's better than the alternative, why would you vote for the alternative if you believe, anyway, that the alternative could perform worse?
It's like them saying it's better the devil you know, innit?
Yeah. So are you saying that there is an argument to say Conservative is the best party going forward?
Of course there's an argument. Of course there is.
That's why I said I don't agree.
You don't agree with that?
Regardless of the history.
With the Tories? Okay.
Yes, that's why I said I don't agree. You've shown us what you're about. And it's based on lies too. So why am I going to reward you for more lies?
Yeah, but two things can... Oh, I get what you're saying. If it's more lies, if you don't believe it.
Precisely. For this thing that he has said, it is null and void for Tories. I can understand other parties, but not for Tories. You've
A lot
shown
of the issues, the economic issues they've started. Well, obviously, you know what? All that inflation and stuff coming down. It's kind of not even unfair. It's easy to credit it to Sunak and all that, but them economics people that know that was gonna happen anyway. Like, do you get what I'm trying to say? Like,
14 years, bro. Sorry. Brexit, bro. Sorry.
well, Brexit wasn't a party. Brexit was the people.
Because of the lies. I'm not going back on this avenue.
I mean, we're gonna see in it today what happens.
So what are you
obviously it's
voting?
gonna be
What are you
clear.
voting, Brent? Sorry, man.
Can you stop cutting him man off, please? It's
guy.
very disrespectful. Let him land.
I apologize in real time.
Touche.
No, it's a question though. You can, Even one of you can ask it. Where you going?
I'm still not too sure, you know. I feel like it might be one of those things where when I get there, I'll just know in it.
If you vote Conservative, will you come in and tell everybody?
Probably not.
Wait a minute. Really?
Okay,
No.
follow up question. What's the percentage of chance that you can still go Conservative? Honestly, genuinely.
About 4%.
4.
Yeah, it's very unlikely. It's not gonna happen. But I feel that way about both of the two main parties, to be fair. My struggle is more so, what's the alternative? That's basically what my struggle is. I just don't know what alternative to give my vote to.
Yeah, the most important thing is who you tussling with. What are the options in your head? Because 4% you're not doing it.
Yeah, it's minuscule.
Yeah.
So
There's
who
no
has a
tussle
larger
there.
percentage in your head currently? No,
Honestly,
don't say you
no,
don't
I'm
know.
telling you.
You've spent too much time talking about this.
I'm
for
telling
you to
you.
say I'm sitting on events.
I'm telling you, I'm literally continuing to make decisions till I get there. Plus,
I want
plus,
to know
wait a minute,
the
wait a minute. I'm
options.
telling you. It might be an independent. It really might be an independent.
As in your
In-
constituency. Who is the independent in your constituency?
I don't even know the guy.
So what are you doing?
That's the point. That's the point I'm
No.
making.
So you are essentially saying without any
Yeah.
knowledge of what they are running on,
Yes.
you're going to go in that booth and just go tick.
Do you know why?
This Emmanuel guy?
I'll tell you why. Because at this point, this is why I asked the question to you guys. Are you guys voting for the party of choice or just voting against Conservatives? Because at this point, I know for a fact, everybody knows Labour's winning. I feel like right now, the people, this is just my humble opinion, I feel like the people need to show the two main parties that we are obviously, we've become disillusioned with their nonsense and that there are alternatives out there. And so I'm just for putting my vote to a particular thing or particular party just to amplify the numbers and show via evidence that people can vote for other things rather than just solely allowing people to believe that there's only two options for us. That's what it is. Because I'm not going to vote for either of the two main guys. Both of them, I believe, are terrible. Tories, again, we've seen what they've done. I believe Sunak has done a better job than some of his predecessors, but they still, overall, as a party, haven't done a good enough job. But Labour, as much as I believe that some of their economics is similar to the Tories, I believe it's going to be worse for us long term because they will tax the hell out of us. Like Tariq said, I fully agree with it. Even though they're saying they're not going to increase income tax and national insurance for the working person, their definition of working people is very small and tight-knit. Everybody will suffer from tax increases via Labour. They will change up certain things on us, 100%. Increasing taxes on private school education, all sorts of changes in inheritance tax. As much as these things don't affect me right now, because I see them being in power for long term, some of these things, once they're now cemented in policy and whatnot, it'll be harder for other subsequent governments to change things and to really change up how things are being run in this country. And that's the issue I have. So I'm just trying to make a stand, I guess, to really show the people, ourselves, but also those in the two parties that, look, you need to fix up. You need to recognize that there's alternatives for the people, which I don't think has ever been the case. You know what I'm saying? So that's basically how I'm looking at it now. That's my strategy.
So I hear all of that. What you've been on air for months, basically talking about the importance of looking at the policies.
Yeah.
and you're now saying that you're going to go in not knowing the policies of one particular party or candidate, and you're just going to take a box.
Yeah, but you have to. You can't take that in isolation. I've looked at the policies and seen that the policies from those who will actually be the lawmakers are not going to change anything. If I believed in the policies of the Tories, I would vote for the Tories. I don't. I don't believe in the party. I don't believe in how they move, all that sort of stuff. I also don't believe in it for Labour. But they're the only two people who are in the running. They're the only two. But if we can put our numbers into alternatives, we can send a message to potentially say, yo, don't think you can sleep on us. Don't think our votes for you are guaranteed. And that, I think, is the best way, at least from my perspective, of changing things up. So
Yeah.
I also don't really like the Greens like that. But again, I may give it to the Greens because the Greens are definitely not going to win.
Yeah, my thing is, if you vote blindly,
Yeah,
you might vote for an independent who has green policies. No,
potentially.
and you might vote blindly for an independent who has conservative policies. No,
Potentially, yeah.
so this is my
But
point.
but what I'm saying is, like, even if they have some conservative policies or some green policies, they are not Greens and they're not conservatives. You know what I'm saying? That's the point I'm making. It's more so about sending a message that, yo, we need more alternatives in politics. Otherwise, we're going to be doomed to the same failures, pretty much.
Yeah, I'm not happy on this point, but cool. You said you wouldn't tell us who you vote for when it is you came back. Why is that?
Oh, no. Mark's only talking about if I was voting Tories. I was joking.
So will you tell us?
If I vote Tories, of course I would. I understand.
Good.
But obviously, I know I'm not going to vote Tories or Labour. So,
That's good.
yeah, man.
All right, then let's get into our last headline. Oh, no, more headlines.
All right, people. So, headlines. Trigger warning on this one. A serving Met Police firearms officer has been arrested on suspicion of rape. So, the Scotland Yard spokesperson said that a serving Met officer has been arrested on suspicion of rape and other offences. The officer, an inspector in the Met Specialist Firearms Command, was arrested on Monday, the 24th of June. The offences are alleged to have taken place between 2013 and 2023. He was bailed to return in mid-September pending further inquiries. He has been suspended from duty. The IOPC, who's the Independent Office for Police Conduct, was informed by the Met about the arrest of the officer, as is a matter of course. A spokesperson for the policing watchdog said, "We received a mandatory conduct referral from the Met Police Service on the 26th of June 2024, following the arrest earlier that week of a Met officer on suspicion of multiple offences." Next headline takes us to America, man. Oh, Americans are in the mud, you know. The US President Joe Biden, apparently he's worked to calm senior Democrats and staff on his campaign yesterday, as reports suggested that he was weighing his future after his disastrous debate with Donald Trump last week. So Mr. Biden held a closed-door lunch with the Vice President Kamala Harris at the White House as speculation mounted over whether she would replace him as the party's candidate in November's election. The pair then joined the call with the broader Democratic campaign, where Mr. Biden made clear that he would remain in the race, and Ms. Harris reiterated her support. You're hearing this, yeah? So Biden's staying put. In the same call, apparently a source was speaking to the BBC. Sorry, in a different call, of course, a source was speaking to the BBC saying that I'm a nominee of the Democratic Party. No one's pushed me out. I'm not leaving. This is what, he told the call, pardon me. That same phrase was repeated in a fundraising email sent out a few hours later by the Biden-Harris campaign. Pretty much said that, "Let me say this as clearly and as simply as I can, I'm running." Mr. Biden sent in the email. And yeah, that's pretty much it, man. It doesn't look like he's going to be moving anywhere. Although, I don't think that's going to be the case, you know. I feel like they're going to get him out. And the last headline, Essex police have said that no criminal offences were committed by the Reform UK activists who were filmed making offensive and racist comments in the Channel 4 documentary. The footage included party canvasser Andrew Parker using a racial slur to describe Prime Minister Rishi Sunak and another activist, George Jones, describing the pride flag as degenerate. Responding to the broadcast of the Channel 4 programme, Essex Police said that it was urgently assessing the comments. But in a statement on Wednesday, Essex Police said that it found no criminal offences have taken place. Nigel Farage, who leads the Reform UK, has claimed that the filming was a setup, arguing that Mr. Parker was an actor. Channel 4 has said that it stands by its rigorous and duly impartial journalism, adding that it did not know Mr. Parker before meeting him at Reform UK party headquarters. And the party has confirmed that Mr. Jones volunteered for the party, but said that he no longer plays a role in the campaign. So let me just go into the last set of headlines as well. And this other headline as well, trigger warning as well. We've been speaking about this for the past 2 days. This is about Hurricane Beryl. Apparently now it's hitting Jamaica, man, with life-threatening rain, 145 miles per hour winds and storm surge that could raise coastal levels by 9 feet after charting a deadly path through the eastern Caribbean. So high winds from the Category 4 storm have already knocked down power lines in Portland. That's what the Jamaica Observer has reported. Officials have declared Jamaica a disaster area and imposed a curfew for Wednesday, so yesterday. Hurricane Beryl has killed at least 7 people. The storm intensified in the earliest Category 5 storm recorded in the Atlantic overnight before weakening back to Category 4. This was on Tuesday. While the storm is expected to weaken later this week, it will likely remain a major hurricane. Hurricane Beryl has potential to hit southern Texas and Louisiana over the weekend, and Grenada was left with unimaginable destruction after the storm passed through on Monday. This was what we spoke about yesterday as well. Officials said that 98% of buildings in the nation of 6,000 had been damaged or destroyed. 98% of buildings.
Crazy.
A UN spokesperson said that to date, Grenada and St. Vincent's and the Grenadines have reported hundreds of people in shelters. And the Secretary General, Antonio Guterres, has asked for the international community to show solidarity with all the Caribbean countries in Hurricane Beryl's path as well, man. So, yeah, man, have to keep them in our prayers, man. It's really crazy what's going on over there. Next headline, and Egypt's new cabinet was sworn in Cairo on Wednesday as the country faced an ailing economy and raging conflicts in neighboring nations. The new cabinet, which is chaired by the Prime Minister Mustafa Madbouli, who had been in office since 2018, included major changes, particularly in the defense and economy-related portfolios. Some ministers, including those in charge of police, health and transportation, remain in place. But the change comes as the country faces mounting public discontent following years of economic mismanagement, the coronavirus pandemic, and also the fallout of the wars in Europe and the Middle East. And our last headline, trigger warning on this one, and an Israeli soldier has been killed. And a second person was wounded in a stabbing attack in a shopping center in northern Israel, is what police have said, adding that the suspect was shot dead. So the attack took place on the second floor of the Hutzot Carmiel Mall in the northern Israeli city of Carmiel on Wednesday. Gal Zaid, who's a spokesperson for the Israel's Galilee Medical Center, said the doctors pronounced one man dead after failing to resuscitate him, and the second man was admitted to the hospital's intensive care unit. Police said that the suspect, who was not named but identified as the Palestinian citizen of Israel from the town of Naif, had been neutralized, and they were investigating the incident as a possible terror attack. There was no immediate claim of responsibility, but the Palestinian Islamic Jihad in a post on Telegram described the attack as a heroic operation. And that's it for the headlines, man.
Are we doing this next segment? Because it feels like I've read it before.
Yeah, we was going to discuss it in Woke Joke, but
Well, let's get into Walk or Joke then. Or are you doing?
we can. No, I'm not going to do.
Let's go into reaction.
Yeah, let's go straight to reaction.
Oh, so okay, cool.
Yeah.
Reaction. So we're not. Welcome to the reaction, people.
The entire sporting world is in disarray right now.
Why?
Our favorite football platform
Yeah.
is being discussed in the timeline.
What, filthy? Yeah.
I'm just saying, observation.
Filthy's still here. Filthy's still going on. We're still out here. All the talent's still there. Just had a change to the cast. We've had plenty of changes to the cast in
Always,
Filthy history for the past 10 years. There's loads of people that's gone from Leon Knight, Hacks, Mitch, Ross, Harry Pinero. All them times that Tigo weren't even on the front of the camera. So
And you've been growing from strength to strength each time.
exactly. So I don't think it's newsworthy. There's nothing to talk about.
All right, then.
Tune in. The show dropped yesterday. I'm on there. There's one on Wednesday. And there'll be another Filthy next Wednesday
100%.
at 5 p.m. As sure as the sun's going to rise. So, yeah, as far as I'm concerned, business as usual
Business as usual.
for me personally. But yeah, don't think it's newsworthy, guys. But if anybody from the Filthy Fellas wants to talk about it in more detail, then they can. But I couldn't care less. So, and there's not much. Well, I suppose we should. There's not much to talk about anyway. So it makes sense. Anything else you want to ask me?
Yeah. So there are rumors going around. Well, transfer rumors, right?
I saw something about Rashford. That's annoying me.
Talk to me. What's the street saying?
Well, obviously, no. There's no streets. It's just Lippy keeps pushing this agenda.
You heard it from Lippy?
No.
You got
Because
insiders?
No. Lippy keeps pushing the Rashford to Arsenal agenda, innit? And then when people keep doing stuff online, he's got like 100,000 followers. If you keep doing
It's
stuff,
gonna become a thing, yeah.
it becomes a thing and it picks up. You get me? And it's annoying how you Arsenal man talk about Rashford beforehand, but then now there ain't even a possibility. I don't even know where it's come from, but now even it's just in the atmosphere that he's coming to, that or there's a potential he can come to Arsenal. All of a sudden, you don't make me sick, firstly. But I just want to just put out a hands-off warning to all to Arsenal.
Stay away, yeah. You gonna start appreciating him more?
We appreciate him.
Yeah,
we appreciate him.
the level that you should.
100%, especially when he's feeding them kids. We hold people accountable. You get me? So we had a bad season last year. So you just say it. You get me? I'm not part of the crowd that want to abuse my own players. I've never been that type of fan. But we'll call that mediocrity when you see it. Didn't have a good season last year. It needs to be better. But that's about it. That's where it stops for me.
Yeah. So you had a word with Lippy. You told him to calm down. His influence is too impactful.
I'm gonna talk to him still.
Gonna mess around and do something.
I'm gonna reason with him still. But I don't like it. I keep saying it. I don't know whether he's the one that mocked
You know,
it
you
up.
can just block him.
Who,
You
Lippy?
won't see it anymore.
No, I like his tweets. I like his tweets. I'll just mute any tweet that's got Rashford in it.
Fair. Filter.
Filter it out. Yeah. What other transfer news is going on?
For United, you guys heard anything at all?
What about who we're buying?
Yeah. I heard you in for Zirkzee.
Well, Xerxes going good, apparently. You like Xerxes?
I like Zirkzee. Do you like Zirkzee?
I mean, I like him. I don't watch him. I haven't watched him as much as I should. Obviously, I've seen clips and I've got him on my Football Manager, so I think he's a superstar already. I like him. Good money. He's young. What's that? 34 M's. That's good going. I like that.
It is.
So if we can get that done, I think it's just stumbling blocks on the agents' fees.
That was United, isn't it?
I don't know. I heard he wants 12 million. That's crazy. Like, aside of the fee, like he wants 12 million. That's mental. So I don't know. Hopefully they sort that out. But if that gets done, that will get done.
Yep.
The lit is looking like it can get done.
Yep.
That would be interesting.
Yeah.
I like the look of him. I used to think he was cold. It didn't go as like everything didn't go to plan at Bayern for him.
Yeah.
But still young, still cold, decent fee as well.
Yeah.
Not crazy. What was it? 50 million euros or something like that. That's not bad at all.
At all.
And apparently he's interested. He's given us the green light to go ahead and get it done. Don't want to go nowhere else, so we can get the lit. There's the Brantthwaite one. I don't know if we're going to pay the money for Brantthwaite. So there's that. I would love if we do, but apparently they're trying to play hardball and say they're not going to give the 70 million or whatever it is that they want. So we'll see if that can get worked out. Ugarte at PSG, that could probably be like a loan with an option. I don't know if they'll spend the money for him. He's only there one season. I don't know what that looks like. That could be. I don't know. I ain't seen enough of him to know, but it'd be welcomed. Any more? We need to be linked to a left back because I don't know how we ain't got a left back. Is there anybody else out there I've seen? No.
But you're hopeful so far with the names that's getting touted around.
It sounds all right. It sounds all right.
Right
You get me?
direction.
We got a new structure. We got a new dynamics, and now it's like the Avengers going out there. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
100%.
And now there's actually a structure
Yeah.
behind the club rather than the Glazers just doing foolishness.
Yeah.
We got, get me,
Got long-term
Barada,
strategy.
Beresford, Ashworth, Wilcox. You know what I'm trying to say? These men know what they're doing.
Chilly, bro. Chilly.
No, it should scare you.
Terrified.
It should scare you. Trust
Bro,
me.
terrified. Like
Be
birds.
afraid, bro.
Very afraid.
Because you got Edu.
Yeah, that's it. All right, Ed, good morning.
Oh, was someone there?
He's supposed to be. But he's not chiming in.
We can chime in. There's rumours saying that United will listen to offers for Bruno. I don't know where that's coming from, but it's expected for him to sign a new contract because he came out and said what he said, and I know they want Bruno there. So I don't know where that's come from. Arsenal had a bid rejected for a defender. Did you see that?
Who's that?
Ricardo Calafiori.
You mean our next left back?
Ain't it? I don't know where he plays. I would have thought he was a centre back.
Left side of the centre back, but he can also be left back. I think we're getting him for a left back position.
Well, they're holding out for 50 million euros. You lot bid. Oh, they're being petty. You bid 47. There, so 47 million got rejected. They're holding out for 50.
My friend, if it is we want him, we'll get him.
I'm just saying they're being tight, man. They could have let you lot do that. You lot got a good relationship after the Tomoyasu thing, innit?
Yeah.
Come on, man. They could have let you lot do that.
Have you seen him?
No.
It's nice.
Are you just doing clips?
No, he played for Italy in this.
Oh, okay.
He was the best player.
I swear. Okay, cool. That's good. Bigger sample size than just YouTube. That works. Real Madrid have emerged as a potential destination for guess who?
Real Madrid?
Real Madrid have emerged as a potential destination for
Guess who? I don't know.
Guess who?
Something in Real Madrid. I haven't heard any news yet. Who?
William Saliba.
Oh, serious?
This is what he's saying. He could depart this summer. There's talks.
Who's saying that? Marca? Marca?
They haven't cited our sources.
Yes, who's they? Who's say that?
It would be them.
They is them.
They is them. Okay?
Say them things, yeah?
Haven't cited my sources. I'm not sure where this information forwards from.
From the Mirror.
The Mirror. Yeah. The Mirror saying it.
And what's the Mirror saying?
The Mirror is saying that Real Madrid have emerged as a potential destination for Arsenal's French defender, William Saliba, who could depart the club this summer. That's big business.
Where are they getting the information from?
Brother, what are we doing here?
Good morning.
No, I don't know what was happening with Discord. Let me talk.
I don't know what's happening either, but I'll try and look at it after the show. How are you?
No, calm. All good, man. All good.
All right, you want to jump in on the convo?
Yeah, I was going to say, what's this talk? I saw this rumor that you got signing a German player.
So, all right,
that's this I'm seeing.
That's next.
I'm hearing Kimmich talk.
Kimmich?
Yeah.
No, wait. No, they said German player. And they're keeping it under wraps because it's a big name. So, who could it be? Right? Kimmich? Sane? Or Musiala?
No, it's not Musiala.
Hey.
Nah, it was Musiala.
Hey. If it was, what would you do?
That's a good player, but where's he play?
That's...
Sorry, where does he play?
If you go Musiala, that'd be mad.
Where's he, like a 10 or something like that?
He's a 10.
Yeah, he's
a 10.
It's not that.
But you can play on the wing as well. You can play on the
to
wing.
replace, what is it? The guy who doesn't play, who's Spanish. What's his name again? Vieira or Smith Rowe.
That's crazy.
It is crazy.
Musiala. Kimmich, I could see Kimmich more. I could see Kimmich
How
more.
about Sane?
Nah, it's not Starboy.
Because they after...
Because of Starboy. No.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Because of Starboy.
Sane's not bench, man.
Sorry.
Sane ain't going to be bench.
Where does Sane play, Ed?
On the right.
You can play right and left, but mainly right.
And left.
No point putting him on the left. Sane's on the right, bro.
Sane can play anywhere, bro. And we need a replacement for Saka.
Well, like backup or a replacement. There's two different things.
Backup, sorry.
My
apologies.
Sane's not backup. Sane's not backup. Sane's a replacement.
Well, what would happen is that you play on the left.
Why do you think it's Kimmich, Ed? Or did you say that? Or did you say that?
I've just been seeing a couple that on the timeline, seeing a couple of those Arsenal fan pages saying like Kimmich, like a lot of them saying Kimmich because obviously Bayern are trying to get rid of like some of their high owners, isn't it? Like I saw obviously they're getting rid of the Lit and trying to get rid of Sane, trying to get rid of Kimmich and stuff. So yeah, so I think that's probably where that's coming from, because they're hearing this the high ends that they're trying to get rid of.
You could be bringing Gnabry back.
Nah, Gnabry just signed a deal so a couple of years ago. I don't think they'll be getting rid of him.
I don't know, man. I don't know. German
Bringing Gnabry back, I'll take him.
on the left.
I don't think he plays.
But Kimmich to replace Jorginho. Kimmich to replace Jorginho would be cold. I can't lie.
What about you're Arsenal, innit, Ed?
No, I'm not Arsenal.
United.
Palace and celebrating.
Oh,
Huh?
you're not even United. Who are you? Palace.
Yeah,
Oh, fair
Yeah,
enough.
I respect that still.
we said. Yeah, we said we trying to figure out how we're going to invest that Elise money again,
All right, so Brent then.
and potential Eze money.
What about Osherman being linked with these lot?
Are you asking me if I want it?
Mm.
No.
It's not just Arsenal. There's United and Chelsea rumours going around. I don't think United do that though. We don't. I don't think that's not the route we're going. I don't believe.
It shouldn't be the route we're going.
No Osherman for you.
Don't like him.
Interesting. We say West Ham are
Well,
considering a renewed offer for Todibo. They rejected 25 million. You know what's mad about that? Yeah, I want to know what's going on with the United lawyers, because obviously they blocked the move, innit, for him to come to United because Radcliffe's other team owns him, and they're both in Europe and stuff like that. But I don't know. There's some kind of precedent. Apparently, they're just trying to change the rules for United. But I was looking at that thinking, maybe they're going to make him go West Ham for like a season on the cheap, maybe keep him there, and then United buy him next season. That's not a break of rules, because then he's not there playing no more, innit? It's a workaround. Do you see it? They're mugging us with Todibo. Todibo's decent though. We should be able to get him. That's not fair. Barcelona, Dani Olmo. No, not okay. I think he's got a release clause for like 60 million that he might run out this year though. Almost decent. I'm surprised no Prem clubs ain't looking at him. Fulham's Willian rejecting a new contract offer. Oh wow. Well, he loves it in over there in the southwest of London. Attracting interest from clubs in Saudi Arabia and Turkey. You just should take William back. I was just joking. I don't know. I've done that. Waste of money. It was mad. He took his money, wasted it, and then he went for them and started playing decent. Didn't that piss you off a little bit?
No.
Oh, okay.
It was Emery's decision, isn't it?
What's the transfer news in Selhurst Park saying?
I think big talk is about Eze. I keep saying Beryl with Eze, Spurs, Team Arsenal talk as well. But yeah, Spurs is like the strongest one I've seen.
What about Wharton? Anybody going to try to come and take Wharton?
Nah, I don't think yeah. I could picture next summer. I feel like next summer that's when the Wharton talk comes through.
I think they need to take
Gay obviously Gay is having a good Euro, so I feel like there are going to be some definitely people trying to get him as well.
Gay will be gone. Liverpool or something like that.
Yeah, I think that's.
I don't know why.
Yeah, I can see that
like
happening.
A Liverpool player. I could just see Liverpool doing it. I don't know.
To be fair, they could use it. They need to think about who's going to replace Van Dijk that's in that spot. So to be fair, I could see it.
They need to buy Wharton now, because I think next season is just going to cost too much money.
Yeah, but we'll be making sure he's got a nice clause in there somewhere to get a nice fee for him. You get me?
What about
We're
Mateta?
trying to run out. We're trying to get
to
cheesecake.
stay another season?
Yeah, for sure. Especially after the second half of the season he had. I think he knows he can cook on
He plays way into a bigger team. If he carries on.
If he has a good season again, then we'll see at the end. We'll see come the end of the season. But I think personally, he was a purple patch. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna act like I think he's gonna consistently start balling out next season. But but for whatever he can, if he can contribute even like 15 goals, I'll take it. Because 3 months ago I would have been like, he was the first one I went out the door. Like 6 months ago. So
I think he's gonna score his way. I think he's gonna shoot his way into a better team, and then maybe get to the better team, and then just revert back to type whatever. But I think he's going to do it again. I think he's going to cook. I actually think that purple patch ain't over yet. If that's the case, if that's what it is, I don't think it's over yet. I think he's going to cook.
Well, that depends on actually, that depends on how the system looks next season. How much is going to change if Eze goes, especially because I feel like he's with the right hand side. We're playing our wing backs now, so it's like it's not so difficult in terms of losing Elise because we've got the width from the wing backs and that. But in terms of that creative spark in the middle, if we lose Eze, that changes a lot of how the team looks.
Eze needs to get out of there, man. I'm sorry. Eze needs to go. He served his time.
He needs to come home.
He needs to come home. Yeah, you didn't respect him. I wouldn't step foot back at Arsenal if I was him. I wouldn't step foot back there if I was him. I didn't respect him. Come to the North. The North remembers. You get what I'm saying?
Where is he going to play if he comes to the North? Where's he playing?
One of them wings? Where did you not play? Left wing? Right wing? Or is he one of the 10?
He floats between sort of left wing and a 10.
Yeah, we can put him left wing. We can put him left wing.
Oh, you think the guy you gave 350 bags to is going to allow that? No, I can't see that happening, bro.
We need like what Brent just said. We need backup for him. We need backup anyway. You get what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, then you just said Eze needs to go to a big club to sit on bench. Nah. Yeah,
He's got the big club full stop.
He needs to go to a big club regardless. But we play enough football that it's not sitting on bench. We're in enough competitions. We play enough football for the past seasons, 50 plus games. He's gonna get his football. He's gonna get his football. Trust me. We need to look at it. I would have wanted Elise to stay in the Premier, and then what I really wanted was whoever bought Elise was to buy Eze as well, like do the double swoops, so them man stay together and keep cooking, because that was a time, but didn't happen. Bullshit. And I'm hearing someone's looking to hijack the Elise move as well. Are you hearing that?
Oh yeah, I did see something on Sky the other day or something. They're saying that you lot was like still looking, and somebody else was still looking or something like that to swoop in.
From who?
From Bayern.
Oh.
From Bayern, yeah. Hey, it's gone with the Brent's there, isn't it?
But the report that Elise's heart's on Bayern, but that can change.
I can see. Yeah, that's gonna be scary, bro. Elise, Musiala, Gnabry. Scary hours, man.
He don't really run in behind though, does he?
You don't need to be running behind. It's just he's got Musiala and got Kane floating in the box.
Kane already then, because Kane definitely needs runs in and around him. So I don't understand that move. But yeah,
that's what I'm saying. Yeah, no, but they'll definitely replace Kane soon. I think next season they'll probably be looking to get a Kane replacement. I don't think Kane cooks man for more than another season. We'll probably go back to the Prem.
We'll see. All right then, that's all we got here, man. That's all we got for sports news, man. Nothing else to gist about. Any more? Anything you want to cover quickly before I go? That was
No. Well, I think the only alternative sports is like tennis and that, but no one got time for that. No, but yeah.
No time for tennis. No time for tennis. So what I'll do tomorrow, I will talk about some of these trades and extensions that's been happening in NBA. I just want to go through more of them and confirm some of the ones that I think are important. And we can...
Yeah, we need to talk about Clay. We need to talk about Clay. That's crazy what happened there still.
Yeah, we'll get into that tomorrow. Call back up to reaction tomorrow then. And we'll do it.
All right, calm, yeah.
All right then, cool. Thanks for that, man.
All right, guys.
All right, let's get into Done Out Here. Press number 2, Brent. I was watching this earlier, and I couldn't understand. I was going to start trying to read some of the comments so I could try and understand what's actually going on here, and I'm not sure. Actually, did I change my mind? You ain't pressed it, have you?
I have, but I haven't put it up yet.
That stuff with the balloons, there's... Go to the change it. Press number 1, please. Sorry. Okay. That did or no? Did not what did we not did or not do? What was the game I was telling you to? Was I telling you to play it? Was we talking about you about it?
Yes, we were. Take or no take? What was it?
Take me out.
Take me out.
Take me out.
Okay.
Take me out. No lackey, no lackey. Yeah. So let's. What I don't know what this is. I haven't watched this, but where I saw the balloons, always intrigued.
All right, his name is Daniel. He's 5'11". He's 27 years of age, and his current bank account balance is nil. He does not want to reveal it. So, Fina, why did you pop your balloon?
The fact that I'm not
We've done this, haven't we? Haven't we done this?
I feel like we have.
She says
She needs 500,000 or something. Or
million, something like that.
500,000 or.
Yes.
I thought this was a new one. Is it? Huh? You put it in there. We done this already, innit?
Yeah,
I thought it was a new one.
No, we done this.
Double check.
saying the account balance. No, I don't like it like that.
You like to see a man's account balance before you know whether you date him or
Please,
not.
yes, because the account balance might be 600k since it's new, so I don't know.
600K is a lot of money.
This was asking what English banks you got in it. I thought it was a new one.
Nope.
I was interested. Okay, go to number 2 then. Sorry, people, wasting my time. It's definitely there. Look, right there, number 1. You put it there too. So why did you put it there?
And it may not be that he put it there. I may have put it there.
Okay.
But not today is when it is that we actually did it. And
Okay,
because
okay.
the copy documents when we just left there.
Okay, my bad. This is all my fault, people. Well, here, yeah, I see this video. Oh, damn. He's got a knife in his hand, you know. So look at this. The guy that pulls up in the car. Now, maybe you can help me. You know what's going on here, right, man? Mm-hmm. Look at the guy in the car. He's running. Look at the timing. He stabbed him. Is the man in the car a good Samaritan, man?
I don't think so, you know. I think both of them are battling for that parcel.
They're both trying to steal the parcel.
Yes.
His timing was impeccable, though. I want to know where he saw him running from. That timing, that was cold. Look at him. Look, he's there. But now. Oh, he's trying to make it. Oh, you understand how close that is. Look at him. Look. Oh, these people are crazy. I thought he was trying to protect the parcel. Bruh, now they're actually competing to steal your packages.
Insane.
This is a big problem in America.
They call them porch pirates.
It is a thing. I don't
so.
understand. 1 second. Have they got the drop? Have they got the inside scoop of what's it, or is this lucky dip? Do they know what's going to be in them parcels?
Nah, I don't think so.
For you to be running towards it with a knife.
It's mad. Insane. But I guess if you get enough parcels a day, you get something.
I like lucky dip.
Yeah.
That's crazy. So you've done all of that. You're running around for the day. You've got 10 parcels. You've nearly been stabbed 3 times. You go home and then you got, just for real, like nappies, old school DVDs, snow globes.
Yeah.
Like, like, do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
This ain't foolproof. This ain't. They gotta have a system in there. They must have someone in the depot. You know what I'm trying to say? That's telling them what's going out and where it's going, because this kind of risk, it doesn't make sense. Like it does. The juice don't seem worth the squeeze. I am actually stunned there by just the timing of it. It reminded me, it's like a Game of Thrones thing. You know, like when you just. You know, like when you're waiting for someone to get back just before and they get to Jon Snow. The timing of that was impeccable. But he swung the knife. This could have played out totally differently, you know. Like, this is our American correspondent. Please tell us that you've experienced this and the porch pirates are really out here. Hello?
Hello. Hello.
Hello, Saleh.
Good morning, people.
Saleh, do you have experience with porch pirates?
No, I don't have experience with them, but I was just calling to say that these people, I think they have to know what's coming, because these two people here, what it looks like is maybe they were probably working together from before, and then they had a fallout, but they had the same information on, okay, they're delivering this iPad here.
I can
And
see
then,
it. I can see it.
yeah,
Makes sense.
because there is no way that at the exact time that this bro, no one knows when delivery drivers are gonna come. When you're waiting for delivery, you'll be sitting there between 3 a.m. to 9 p.m. That's the time they'll tell you.
True.
And now these two people that don't even live in the house were there waiting
At the same time. And,
that's
and
crazy.
the white car pulled up. We saw it come into shot. So the timing is impeccable. No one ain't taking in how impeccable this timing is. To me, it's mad. At first watch, I thought he was defending the porch. I thought he was a good Samaritan. You get me?
I thought that was his house. I thought that was his house, but it didn't look like it. I'm just trying to imagine what sort of career path these guys are trying to go.
Track and field. You know, I was just stunned by the length that these men are going to for random parcels that you don't know what's in them. And
Man got stabbed as well.
did he get him?
I think he just.
It looks like it, or at least scratched. That's a knife, bro. People you could literally walk down to your door to pick up a parcel and there's a man standing there with a knife.
I'm telling you, that could have played that totally different. That could have played that totally different. That could have been gruesome. So it's just the thought of what it could have been is kind of horrifying for random stuff as well. Does it just supposed to go? Does it go to show just like, I don't know, the dire situation that some people are in the world that they drove to making these crazy decisions to do these crazy things?
I don't think it's dire situation. I think that's
because you see, the thing is, people.
But what's the opportunity, Brent? The opportunity I ran at Lucky Dip. I get the opportunity to. What's the opportunity?
I do believe that they may have an insider, and they'll be able to say what is valuable and what isn't. They may not have specifics. Again, they may have specifics because that tussle was deadly. But I think they're operating on information that is more informed than we may think.
That would make sense. That would make sense. That would sit more right with me because this is nonsensical. And I would keep driving home. That could have been gruesome. You know what I'm trying to say? That you could have watched the man's guts all over the patio.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, okay, cool.
But imagine that though. What do you do if you come to your door and you see someone laying there, they've been stabbed, and you find out, they were trying to steal your parcel, but they lost.
Firstly, I'm gonna ask where's my blood clot parcel. That's what
My
I'm trying to say.
No, but he doesn't have it.
Concern. That's my main concern.
He doesn't have it.
And then if you clock that he was trying to steal your things, you'd have to hoof him up a little bit while he's on the floor. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, what are you doing that in my yard? Thieving boy. You get what I'm trying to say? You're a lad, man. Police won't even say nothing, man. Hoof him up, little piece. Yeah, that's what you do, man. The world's gone mad. They're definitely both done out here because that, like I said, that just don't look like it's worth it. And law averages, if you don't keep acting like that, one of them days is gonna go
100%.
awry. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna go wrong. It's damn near gonna be fatal if you're not trying to thieve people's things and you don't know what's in there. Do you know how much nonsense people?
The maddest thing is,
you know that when you get things you don't need. And
the maddest thing is though,
posters. They could have done that for posters.
We've seen this already.
Huh?
I am very sure. Give it a couple months, and we're gonna hear the first fatality at someone's doorstep. Because if this is going on, like for us to now have this footage, that means this has been going on.
It's a thing. It's a real thing.
So it's most probably a matter of time.
Oh boy, I wish them all the best in their endeavours, man. When we get the fatality, I will let you.
I swear there's a game like that.
No.
I swear there's a game like that, DoorDash or something like that.
Ain't DoorDash just like?
It's an app.
Ain't that just like Uber Eats?
I think so. Yeah.
Oh shit! Okay.
Yeah, that's what they call DoorDash. That's just where the people bring them the food and thing, innit? It's just like Uber Eats and all that. It's just an American thing.
Okay. So this is a different type.
Wow, that was crazy. Well, Sally, thanks for your input, man.
Who you voted for today, sir?
Yeah. No worries, guys. Have a fantastic day, man.
Do not ignore his question.
Wait, sorry, I didn't hear. What did you say?
Who are you voting for today, sir?
Who am I voting for? I think I might just have to damage it, man. Because I don't have faith in anyone. Like, should I give my 2 pence on this? The party that I would normally vote for, they've shown that they don't know what they're doing. So, yeah.
You abstaining?
That's. Huh?
You gonna abstain?
I'm gonna abstain.
He's
Are you going
asking.
to abstain?
What do you say?
Yeah, he's asking.
Yeah, well, I'm going to damage the ballot.
Okay.
Are you going to tear it up
Let's
in their
spoil it.
faces?
Well, or even like put an X in the corner. I don't know. Put Harambe. Remember when people did that? Crazy. That gorilla. But yeah, I don't know. Something else. Because I don't have faith in these people.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Yeah. No worries, guys.
Have a
Everyone
nice
have a
day.
fantastic day.
You too.
You too,
Yeah.
man. Take care.
Bless, man. Take it.
All right then. Well, yeah. Porch pirates are done it. If you see anybody fighting on your porch, let them kill each other before you go outside to retrieve your goods. That's the only advice I can give you.
It doesn't happen in England. They don't leave your stuff on the porch.
They left my things outside. It was not on the porch, but it was outside basically.
Outside your door?
No.
Outside the whole building?
But it might as well have been.
That is mad.
Might as well have been. It's outside the lift.
What?
It was crazy. All right, I need 5 minutes. I'll call you straight back. 1 second.
Tell us 3.
All right, cool.
Tell us 3.
23, yeah.
Lift! That's mental.
I was horrified. Proper big company as well. I had to do advert for them. They sent the product down there. When I got home, it was outside my lift. It was outside the lift, Brent. Just on the floor, outside the lift. I said, what on earth is this? Could you imagine? So the porch pirates wouldn't even have to go on the porch to do their foolishness. It could be lobby pirates. You get what I'm saying? I couldn't believe it. So yeah, the delivery drivers be doing foolishness out here, man. You can't trust them.
They definitely do foolishness.
You can't trust them. You can't trust them as far as you can throw them, and I'll throw them.
All right.
All right, let's get into our outro, man. People, go and cast your vote.
Yep.
Go and cast your vote. Be the change you want to see. Make a difference. Make it count.
100%, man.
Vote wisely. Anything you don't want to add to that?
I was gonna remind people. Obviously, you need your ID and whatnot. You know what I mean? The voter rules since May 2023, voters have had to show a valid form of ID at polling stations to vote in person. So basically, just make sure you got your passport or driver license. If you're an elderly person part of your family, they can also use the older or disabled person's bus pass as well, or Oyster 60 plus card as well. So those are valid as well. You can use an out-of-date photo ID as long as you look the same as well. So yeah, man. So just make sure you have an acceptable form of ID, and you should be good to go, man. Should be good to go. 4th of July, 2024, man. Let's see what happens after this day.
Well, we'll be here tomorrow to do the aftermath of the results.
Yes. And I guess we'll have that as our topic of the day, man. You lot need to call up and see how much of we'll discuss how much of a landslide Labour win by, man. But yeah. Also want to big up the nation. I have to do that today because July 4th is the day that Master Farad came to the wilderness of North America and gave the teachings. If not for that day and the year and a half afterwards when he met with the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, you would have no Malcolm X, you would have no Minister Farrakhan, you would have no Nation of Islam and the impact that they made, no Muhammad Ali. The impact the nation made, obviously, it started basically today, 1930. So big up the nation. And yeah, but guys, vote.
That's the mathematics. All right then, man. We're going to be here tomorrow. We're going to let you know how it went.
Yep.
They let you know the winners and the losers, the movers and the shakers.
Will they have all the results by then?
They should do.
Ooh, yeah,
man.
they should do.
Going into the night, they should know. They should have an idea of what's going on, no?
Yeah, definitely by tonight would know. But in the morning, sometimes they get the.
That's when it's
Definitely by
That's when it's
tonight
close and
they'll
thing.
know.
Huh?
Definitely by tonight they'll know.
Well, who won?
Yeah.
I mean, they know now.
If
But
it was
yeah.
close, if it
No,
was going
don't-
down, if
don't-
it's going down
don't
to the
say
if
that.
it's going down to the wire, I hear where you're coming
What
from.
normally happens is that the next morning you wake up and you see the full
Yeah,
bang, right?
there's still
And
some
then-
more counting.
And then they're still counting, and then kind of like midday they say, all right, da-da-da-da-da. But don't go on as though at midnight tonight we're going to know. That's not how it works. It's never worked like that, surely.
Well, we'll see. I've got a feeling we'll know about tonight.
No, we would know who won, I guess, but all the results wouldn't be in.
Okay, I'm with you.
Definitely. Has that ever happened?
No, it usually carries on into the morning. Yeah. But yeah, man, we'll see. We'll see what happens, man. All right, people. Remember, the decision you make is for the next 5 years, isn't it? Potentially 10 or 15. But yeah. Please vote.
I'm going to talk about Supercell tomorrow, remember?
Yeah.
All right, I've got a couple episodes to catch up to do that. Oh,
So you started it?
yeah.
Okay.
After yeah, okay, I can do that. Yeah, that's cool.
All right. Thank you very much. Lieta.
Peace.
Peace out, man.